everyone. And it is 6 o'clock, so that must mean it's time for the North College Hill Rules and Public Policy meeting. Today is Monday, November 10th, 2025. Did everyone receive a copy of the agenda? I do have some paper copies if anyone is interested in one.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no?
I'm saying yes, I got
Okay.
it.
All right. So on our agenda, I'm just going to let you guys know that I know I've been promising the meeting minutes to be caught up, but I kind of have a deadline now for sure, don't I? So I will make sure that I email everyone all of the meeting minutes, and then what I would ask everybody to do is just review them. And if there's no issues, if I don't receive a response, I should say, I'll assume everything's okay, and I'll just forward them to Mr. Hedger before he too disappears into the sunset. The other business on our Rules and Public Policy agenda is the Clerk of Council position. So Ms. Gaston and I kind of talked about it, and we agreed that we were not going to do resumes and interviews and all of that kind of thing, mainly because I hate that kind of thing, and we just didn't think that it was necessary. We had, actually, apparently I have 3 potential individuals who are all interested and who are all qualified. So, and one of those individuals just so happens to be sitting here today. Yeah. So I'm going to ask her to come and introduce herself to the committee.
Hi, my name is Jillian, and I have lived in North College Hill for my entire life, almost 23 years. I recently graduated from Wright State with my bachelor's degree in nursing. While I was in school, I was an officer of our game club for 3 years, and I served one of those years as president. And as president, our role was organizing different activities, signing us up for things, communicating with the university. So it was like the person who spoke between the university and club, and then also kept club activities running, helped our treasurer with budgeting and different things like that. And as a part of my education at Wright State, we actually took one class that was a semester long that was focused on government, how government works, the importance of being involved with your government, the importance of voting, and all of those different things on both a local and as like the federal level of government. And some things that I guess believe in are transparency, education, and advocacy. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm just going to go down the row here. Well, I'm going to start with Ms. Gaston. What are your thoughts, Ms. Gaston?
Well, one of the things that I really liked is she's been coming to the meetings, she's been watching the meetings, she's young, she's tech savvy, and I feel that you are a boots on the ground person, so if we need to put anything on doors, you'd be willing and able to do that for us and keep things in order. That's just my opinion.
Ms. Orb?
I've met Jillian 4-ish months ago. I think she would be an excellent, sorry, I got a cough drop in my mouth. I think she'd be an excellent candidate. I'm all on board, yes.
Okay.
Miss Madam Chair, sorry.
Yes.
I was going to say president, but wrong meeting. So you have 2 other applicants with Miss Jillian. So I'm just confused about what you're doing. Are you guys
Okay,
just
so
giving qualifications?
I wouldn't say applicants.
Well,
That's not the
submissions.
correct
Name
word that I would
submissions?
use. Yes. So I realized that I kind of was a little heavy-handed because I was just going to say, Jillian is the person because, if anybody wants to put me in charge of something, that's a dangerous thing to do because I hate meetings and, yes, for that reason. So, however, I do realize I do believe in democracy and transparency. So, in true transparent fashion, I will say that I did receive 2 other names. Kim Newman was one of the names, and also Ari Dukes was one of the names as well. So,
Sorry. Madam Chair.
yes.
First, Mr. Wallace, can you open the door, please? Someone's at the door. The doors are locked. Are we gonna meet the other potentials, or are we?
No.
This is our selection.
This is it.
Okay.
I'm going to, this was what I was suggesting to do. This decision kind of has to be made at the next council meeting because whomever the clerk is going to be needs to follow Christian or, kind of connect with Christian, assuming Christian comes to the last 2 meetings in December. So,
Madam
yes.
Chair, so I know for sure the submission that I gave you, she's been interested for the entire time, but as I was waiting for an announcement on how you guys were going to do it, you were very vague. I asked every single time, and you didn't say anything. So
That is accurate. Okay, so I tell you what I will do. If somebody else has a suggestion, I will. I'm open to that. I need anyone who's interested to come to the meeting on Monday. That's our next council meeting, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then I'll just ask those individuals to introduce themselves, and then we'll vote.
Okay.
Madam Chair,
Who just said Madam Chair?
Brielle.
Okay.
I could pull it up, but should I read the qualifications that we?
I know what the qualifications are.
Well, for everybody. Got it. Okay.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
should we submit the resumes to you guys, or do you just want them to come ahead of time so that you guys
No,
can?
they can just come ahead of time, and if anybody has a question, they can ask them questions if they. I think all three of the individuals whose names were submitted to me meet the qualifications. I believe so. It's just a matter of whom you guys want to be your clerk. And when I say you guys, I'm not going to be around, even though I have a vote.
Oh, you're going to be around.
Most certainly will not be at any
Madam Chair.
meetings, but somebody said Madam Chair. Who said that?
It would be this one, the
Okay.
last one.
Yes.
I am this much uncomfortable with talking about this in an open meeting, and I feel like, I know you hate this, but I feel like there's a part of this that needs to be an executive session.
Mary Jo.
I know.
It's the
Hang
clerk,
on,
right?
hang on. Let me finish.
Okay, well, okay.
Not this part that we're having now,
Right.
but the deliberation before council votes at the council meeting.
What do you mean?
I,
The deliberation with regard to qualifications, you mean?
with any of it, I don't think it's fair to the candidates for us to discuss them in public. I think, I just don't. If I were a candidate, I wouldn't want to be talked about in a public meeting. I think it's fair and respectful to have a private conversation.
You try to keep me longer at my last 3 meetings.
No, I'm really
aren't you?
not. I just,
I'm just messing with you.
especially now that we have 3. Actually, we had 4 because I had 3 names of my own. But I'm just saying,
Did you want to submit another name, Ms. Orb?
no.
Okay, all right, I'm happy to hear that. Ms. Gaston, you're the other person on this committee, so what do you think?
I think that it would behoove us to have a discussion in executive session where it's just council.
Okay,
And then we can, if there are resumes, look at those resumes and then come out and do a vote. I don't think it needs to be a 30-minute drawn-out meeting.
It
but
doesn't.
okay.
Something very short so we can discuss it and come back.
Okay. All right,
We
Ms.
can make it quick. I promise. We'll make it
okay.
quick.
Ms. Chichester, what do you think?
I agree that we should look at the resumes in the executive session.
I don't have any resumes,
Oh.
nor did I ask for anybody for a
I
resume.
thought that's what she just said.
That is what Ms. Orb said, but I was just being passive aggressive. I'm not asking anybody for a resume. Because I know they're all college graduates, so,
Ms. Underwood, would you like for us to present the names and then we just do a vote?
we can have the discussion in executive session if that's what people are comfortable with. I'm perfectly fine with that. I just,
Thank you for being flexible
I just
with me.
want to,
Thank you.
again, I just want to be fair because again, once I found someone who was interested and I didn't know, and I knew I didn't want to do postings and get
Yes.
like 1,000 emails about the clerk's position from, because the other thing is that, we are in a kind of an interesting time where, people, there's furloughs and benefits that have gone away. And I just didn't want to be inundated by applications from individuals who may or may not really be interested, but felt like they had to do something because something close was available.
Agreed.
Madam President.
That might even make them a temporary solution. So you're right. Yes.
So, yes.
Yeah, I'm not saying no. I just wanted to look at all options before saying yes. And I don't want to, even names, I still want to know backgrounds, qualifications, futures plans, and, just have a conversation just to make sure we got the right fit.
Okay, so what I would just ask is that the individuals who are interested just come to the meeting on Monday.
Perfect.
I'll ask for an executive session to be placed on council's agenda, and maybe we could just ask each individual to come into the executive session and talk to us one at a time, and then we can make the decision after that.
Sounds good to me.
Perfect.
Okay, all right. The other thing on the agenda is this, it says Walter Drain, but it's also Walter Drain, and I'm gonna include the Iron Mountain contract in that. So the Iron Mountain contract, it turns out that Mr. Hedges signed a contract for more money than we were aware he was signing for. And I'll let Miss Shiva, I'm just gonna call her Miss Shiva. How about that? I'll let her explain that to us because it's gonna impact the budget next year.
At the end of the day, the contract that was signed with Iron Mountain had a definite amount of time of which we had to be in business with them. So we did not have the luxury of canceling our agreement with them without penalties. So if we have a desire to bring our documents back on site, currently we were paying $180 a month in order for them to store our documents in their facility. If the desire is to bring the documents back on site, the entire contract comes due. So that's $180 times 6, I do believe, which pays out the entire contract. And then there's an $800 fee to ship it back to us and a $200 fee to cancel the contract.
And it's the same price even if we just,
Or if we
We-
leave it there, it's the same price.
okay. Does anybody have any questions about that?
And the point is that it's more than the $10,000 that we had allocated for this entire process.
Do you care to run down? I'm sorry.
You like me, you like run them numbers
Yeah.
down again.
Not a
Can you
problem.
see the perplexed look on my face?
So do we all agree that we had appropriated $10,000 for the process?
Yes.
Okay, the process, and that was us, we did not understand that the $180 was part of a $180 monthly storage. I don't think anybody understood that that was, that contract had been signed for an entire year for them to hold our documents. So the desire was, or an attempt had been made basically to cancel the contract, the agreement that we signed with Iron Mountain. And they said, no problem, but you will pay the entire $180 for the entire year and get charged a penalty for canceling the contract early and $800 to ship your stuff back to you.
You might.
Madam Chair.
Was Mr. Wilson the first person or?
Yeah, we didn't
Okay,
say, we
Ms.
didn't
Wilson.
address it appropriately.
My question is so what do they want to, so, I mean, what's the situation here? I mean, they send it back to us, we won't have.
The penalty, if they send it now, we pay the penalty. If we let them hold it till the end of the contract, then we just don't pay the penalty. But the dollars are gone either way.
So,
It is just more than what we had appropriated for this project.
so my question is how does this change our situation as far as our documentation? I mean, I believe that we separated that stuff for them to scan it and put it into the system so that way we had easy access to archives. You know, if we cancel this will take that away from us, right? And
No. The electronic documents were received back, and if I understand, Mr. Hedger has already cataloged those properly on with Walter Drain, and so the electronic records are available. This is about the actual hard copies. Currently, they're being stored off-site.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
can you refresh my memory? How long is, like, what is the end of the contract date?
I want to say it is April or May. Yeah.
So if we cancel it in May, whatever, April, May, we just pay the $180 a month.
Up until then, and then the cost to ship it back.
I say we do that.
Madam Chair.
Because we're going
who-
to pay the year no matter what. And we're
Right.
going to pay the 800 no matter what.
Exactly.
Right? Is that what I understood?
Yep. Who just said, Madam Chair? Ms. Dukestein?
Honestly, because it's either way, we made the decision for you because we don't want to bring the documents in-house and we have a storage issue anyways, so we might as well leave it there while, I mean, either way, it's the same amount of money and it's over. So the two asks that I have is that you put the 2026 amount over in your 2026 budget. And then, I mean, if you want to put it back over here, you can, but they're available for you electronically. And right now we have a storage issue.
But there's room in the council room, right? That's where they came from.
Yes and no. So there is the room there, but we have files that, I mean, we're sharing a space, we're tight. We have files that we need to situate, reduce between now and then because we're sharing the space. And they were like bunched up and on top of one another in there. And so you guys took the time to organize your files. And so in that time that you pulled them out and shipped them out, other documents were pulled over and now occupy that space. And some of them were already there. They just got shifted around because you guys pulled your stuff out. So we would consequently have files sitting in hallways, and that's not ideal because we don't have enough room.
guess I'm confused. If the files came out of that room, there should be enough room for them to go back in that room.
Well, the way that they were stacked, they were just condensed. Nobody was really using them. Now that you've gone through them, the ones that are there, you would want to be able to access them unless we just stacked them all the way back up like they were. And when I spoke with Christian Hedger, that's not what he wanted. He wanted to be able to access them and for you all to access them as well. So that looks like them spreading out and front facing so that you can actually open the cabinets. That's not how they were initially. They were just kind of jammed in there and out of the way. So it allowed we put them in there for like origami so that they could at least fit. And there were also some city files in there.
Madam Chair?
Yes,
So it sounds like we have until May to make this decision,
that's correct.
and we'll have a new clerk by then.
Yep.
And the new clerk can work on this. What do you think?
That sounds absolutely fantastic.
All right.
Okay, but I did need to mention it though, because
Sure.
we do have to adjust the budget for 2026 to account for the additional cost.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Ms.
questions
Chichester?
for Ms.
Okay.
Shiva.
Please, thank you.
How much additional are we going over to what we allocated for this, or budgeted for this?
If we nothing for 2025. If we just leave it as it's been for 2025, we'll be fine.
Okay.
We just need to make sure that this is in consideration in 2026. We'll just
Okay.
pay the $180 a month, and then until
The 800 for it to come back.
in May.
Okay.
So we need to add $1,700 for, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
So along those lines, is there additional money we need? I know it's under Walter Drain on the agenda, but do we need to add more money for Walter Drain on top of that 1,700?
We just have to add the yearly amount. So, and I don't know if we know what that is yet. So,
Got a ballpark?
yeah, we need to find, because we did get a bill, but that was a bill of 4 years.
Oh, I thought it was 3. It was
Okay,
4?
it was more than one. Maybe,
Yeah.
how about that? Say that.
Yep.
I know it's more than one. So the question becomes: do we divide it by 3 or?
Yeah, I don't
So-
know if it's a quantity thing or if it's
Right.
an annual thing with them.
About 2,500. Yep. So that's at least for our storage of documents, or not storage, but publishing of documents.
Okay. Okay, is there any other questions about that? Okay, any other old business? Is there any new business?
Yes. Yes. So to be transparent, I'm not sure when you guys got the, you guys got a letter from the finance department. I read it out loud in a committee. I wasn't sure if it was yours in public, rules and public policy or budget and finance, but the agreement was you all wanted the time to look through it. And
Whoa, what kind of letter is that?
it is an adoption of request of expenditure policy.
Yes, it was in this committee. That is correct.
So you guys were supposed to put it back on the agenda for this meeting.
May I have a suggestion?
Yes,
We can put it on the agenda in January.
we need to have it in place by January. So
knew
this
you was
was
gonna say
the
that.
time
Okay.
frame where you guys were supposed to read it and discuss it in this particular agenda.
Do you have extra copies?
Could you tell me the title again?
It's called expenditure policy.
It was on the agenda last month, I believe.
You want those two?
The vendor packets.
Not letting me kick any cans down the road, are you?
Nope.
Okay. So what I will do is, so it's a policy and we have to have that policy adopted before or by the end of the year?
I would hope so. It is to be in compliance with our audit for 2024, 2023 and 24 state audit. So it is the two reasons we encountered in 24, just some different asks in how we spend money. And I think it was due to not having any set rules. So we want to provide clarity for that. And then there are some very real audit findings that we've had in the past that we want to make sure that we clear up. So a part of audit findings is that when they are in the management letter, we need to produce policy to say that we are correcting what has been. So this would be when the auditors show up, this would be something that we would have in documentation that we presented to council concerning council. And we also did one for in-house this would be the correction to that, to make sure that we have policy. It literally says that we don't have adequate policy. So this is us pushing out the policy to satisfy that audit finding. It's actually not a finding, it's in the management letter, but it's still, when you ignore things in the management letter, then year after year, they become findings. So we don't want it to get to that level, so we're proposing this.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so it is 6:28, and I want to, so what I suggest we do is, take a copy of this policy and,
Thank you. That's a big one. Thank you.
I would ask that everybody take a look at it
Thank you.
and email me directly about your comments and concerns. Do not send a group email, please. Because if you send a group email, I'm going to delete it. So just email me directly so that we can kind of figure out what we're going to do. I will put well, what do you guys think? Next agenda or just the agenda at the beginning of December?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
at the beginning of December.
Okay. That'll give everyone an opportunity to review it. And again, if I don't get any emails, I'm just going to assume that it's okay to put it on the first agenda of the first council meeting in December. Is everybody good with that?
Yes, ma'am.
This is not legislation, though.
I know, but it's some kind of policy we need to adopt. Is that right?
It's a resolution. Yep.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't see a resolution here.
Once you guys approve it, we need to get it over to Bill to create resolution to put on council floor to pass before the end of the year. This is just the pre-work in the committee. We're responding to audit results and proper procedure for council because we had a lot of circumstances crop up in 24. And if we continue to handle things like that, we will be in state trouble. So we're trying to manage the expectation with the policy and then put it in a piece of a piece of legislation by way of resolution. The thing is, you all have to read the policy and agree to it so that I can put it over to Bill.
Got it.
Okay, fair enough. So I'll reach out to all of you individually by email, so we can keep this moving along. Okay, with that, it is 6:31, and I am going to adjourn the Rules and Public Policy meeting. Does anybody need a break? Okay, so. It is 6:31 p.m. I'm going to call to order the Public Safety Committee meeting. I do see the police chief present, and I see the fire chief present. I'm going to ask we also have to talk about the Isaac Moore legislation. So I'm going to ask the fire chief and the police chief to kind of step up to the table and give us their updates directly. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hello. Hello. No, you can go first. I don't care.
So for a report from the fire department, the October report, monthly count of incidents was down just a shade, but we're still around a 225 a month incident average. Contract negotiations between full-time firefighters in the city are still near completion. We're waiting on a few things. Hydrant maintenance is going on. That should be done by the end of November. Apparatus maintenance. Our one ambulance is still out for repairs, hopefully by the end of the month. If they don't hit any snags. Quinn 78 charging system was replaced due to failing, but we were able to get that swapped out. And I just want to say that I think we have some of the best in-house fleet mechanics that we can ask for. I mean, they had a lot of it was covered under warranty. They called the company, they got parts shipped, they had the thing swapped out with no extra money spent whatsoever. Outside of that, everything is in service. Annual hose testing is underway. Should be done by the end of November. This is to ensure that all of our large diameter hose and attack lines are fit for service. Preventative maintenance was completed on our hydraulic extrication tools to guarantee proper operation. Portable and mobile radio preventative maintenance will be scheduled for December. One of the major projects that we just had completed was the replacement of all the cast iron piping in the firehouse. There was a mess of PVC to copper to cast iron, and it's not up to code. So all of that has been fixed, so we will not have any more sewage line failures. Last thing, I'm still working on a comprehensive needs assessment to apply for Assistance Firefighters Grant and a SAFER grant, which are federal level grants. Hopefully when they open up the government again, they'll release the notice of funding on those, and we'll be set to go. We did apply for the MARCS grant, which is the Multi-Agency Radio Communication Systems grant. Thanks to Ms. Stevens-Knott. She forwarded that one to me, and we were able to get an application in for right around $16,000 worth of equipment. So fingers crossed, we'll hopefully get that one. And that's all I got for the month of October.
Thank you very much, Chief Plackey. Yes.
I was just gonna ask, and I know I don't wanna put you on the spot, but I think we talked about the fire hydrants being painted to red, and what's that, date? Is that 27 or 28?
So we're doing sections of them at a time, because to do them all at once would be probably that line item would be completely obliterated. But
Thank you.
so I'm thinking I have to get back to you on that, but we're probably completion within the next couple of years. Actually, they'll be all converted over. They'll look real nice.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I just wanted to say congratulations on the passing of the fire levy.
Oh yeah, and I apologize. Forgive me. Thanks for everybody that showed their support. I was blown away. So I was extremely humbled when I saw the final results. So thank you.
Yes, yes.
Good stuff.
You ready
Thank
for
you,
me?
thank you, thank you, Chief Blackie, and
you.
congratulations on the fire levy. Chief Cheney.
Okay, October. October stats, we had 92 offenses for 77 arrests, 25 traffic accidents. Citations were down a little bit this month, 117. Calls for service are staying steady. We're at 929 for actual calls, and then daily activities, stuff that our officers do on a daily basis, 793. And the trend that keeps steady from the last couple of years is our mutual aid runs. We were at 38 for the month of October, and we're seeing like that's the trend, and between 30 and 40 every month. Where in past years we were only at like 20. So we're feeling the crunch like everyone else around us with staffing. Is causing us to go and assist them, and plus just bigger type runs that call for more officers to be on scene. So November 22nd, we are doing a Kramer Cruiser event for Thanksgiving. So if you guys want to join us, I think it's 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So we'll be at Kroger doing that event.
Could you repeat that date? I'm sorry.
22nd.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Again, thank you to Ms. Shiva's Knott. She helped us tremendously, and Ms. Dukestein for, we put in for a body worn camera grant to switch body cameras and make it, and it's also something Ms. Chichester had saw when she did a couple ride-alongs, the need to improve our system. So we applied for that grant, hoping to hear back from it, and then switch companies and have a little bit better access to our stuff and just a better product all around. So we got final congratulations from the state last week on Ohio Collaborative 1 and 2. We are complete, I should say, in standing with the state with that. So that's the big 2 that they want you to be. My goal for next year is to try to get us all the other ones. There's like 9 more. So that's the goal, is try to get us in that range of everything. So then with Ms. Stevens Knott and Ms. Dukestein, we're working on a project. We all know speeding is an issue in our town. So Lieutenant Engelbert did a lot of research and a lot of work and found this company. We're looking to see how budget goes this year, if we can do it this year, or if it's something we need to roll into 2026's budget. But this company can actually track every single street in your town and capture data on speed. So normally now we just have a strip, a pipe that has air in it, and we can only put it out in one section of our town, and we have to rotate it. This will capture over 40% of the cars in your town on a daily basis, second by second. Speed, real-time speed. So if somebody says, for instance, on our Facebook page, hey, they're really speeding on Betts, I can literally go into the report, pull it up, and say, okay, yeah, there is an issue on Betts. Or I can say, no, there's not. Our data shows that everybody's within 5 or 10 miles of the speed limit. So then it'll actually enable us to really concentrate our traffic enforcement on the streets that really need it. So just give you a little bit of information on it. You can look it over. Mary Jo, I saved some trees by printing on double side.
See that? I appreciate that. Thank you.
I will just say that the stop sign on Clovernook and Norman is still just kind of people pretend like it's not there.
Transparent. We're working on transparency. I'm sorry, Madam Chair.
Yes, Ms. Orr.
I know you said you're working on to see if you can get it in your budget this year or next year. I don't see any pricing in this. Is there, what's the pricing?
So they base pricing based on the size, the amount of roadway you have in your city. We're at 31 square miles of roadway. So the pricing is $13.5. They said if we signed by the end of the year, they would give us $4,000 discount. It would make it $9,500. And then they would also give us the back data for the last 13 months.
What's their infrastructure look like?
So every car, certain year old, has some kind of chip in it that you get your GPS from, or your radio signal, or your Cirrus. They can tap into that and just capture that. It doesn't give make or model, it doesn't tell you who the car belongs to, doesn't tell you any information about the car except the speed.
Somehow I don't believe that.
Madam Chair.
Yeah. No kidding.
That's not concerning. Mr. Wilson.
Yeah, so Chief Cheney is correct. That chip that he's talking about is only accessible. It only gives you speed information on the car. It don't give you any of the model information
Yeah.
or the ownership.
Yeah, because every car has a chip. So, like, if we have a serious accident, we'll go to OSP and they'll bring their data downloader and they'll download the data
Right off the car.
right off that car, and they can tell you, like, all right, the car was going this fast prior to the accident, this fast at the time of the accident.
So it's like the black box.
Yeah,
for
it's
the,
like the black box for your
yeah,
vehicle.
it's like
Yeah.
the black box for the aircrafts. All
So
cars
obviously,
have-
majority of people have those, but obviously, if you're driving around in a 1980s or 1970s car, you probably don't have a black box.
I was gonna say that the car show would ruin all
Yes.
that data.
So it's something we're looking at to try to help, make a bigger impact in traffic
So-
enforcement.
Is that something you're asking to be added to your budget?
So we've put it in this year's, the 26 budget. We've put it in that to ask for it for 26. We're waiting to see if we have the funds left this year to potentially do it this year. We're working on some things just to make sure we don't want to blow a budget and overspend, so.
Okay, anybody have any questions for Chief Cheney?
I have one more. So is that an annual, so if you pay 9,500,
If we paid 9,500, it would go through whatever. So if we bought it in this year, we wouldn't see an increase until potentially 27, but we would start at the 9,500. We wouldn't automatically jump to the 13,500. They would keep that $4,000 discount. So if
that's an annual fee is where I'm going with
yes,
that.
yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have questions for Chief Cheney? Thank you very much, Chief.
You're welcome.
Ms. Dukestein, do we have any information about Public Works?
We do. Their
Would like
levy
to say
passed.
congratulations on that levy.
We do. Their levy passed. They are currently awaiting their new dump truck, and it has the capacity to plow. As you can see, it snowed today, so we're excited about that because that puts one more plower on the roads for the winter. And then they are also waiting for their, what truck is that?
The bucket truck.
Bucket truck to, yes, the, I always inadvertently call it the pumper truck. But it's the bucket truck so that it'll get here in time for them to put up the Christmas lights. And again, that's what they will use to replace street signs safely. And that's it.
Does anybody have any questions about that?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I have a weird question probably. Do you have to have a CDL to drive either one of those
Yes.
for both?
For the dump truck, for sure, you need a Class B.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear
She's
you.
saying that the bucket truck may have air brakes as well. So if they do have air brakes, you potentially could need a Class B for that one as well.
Yes.
Some of them, some air brakes trucks need Class B, some don't. So I don't know. I don't know if that one.
So some of them, but most of them are Class B or A. So if you got a A, that's good, you know. But the minimum is a B.
I know.
Was there something else, Ms. Dukestein?
No, that's fine.
Okay. Does anyone else have any further questions? I want to apologize to Ms. Gaston because once again, I left her name off the agenda as a member of this committee. I'll get it right for the last agenda that I ever create.
That's okay.
Maybe, I don't know. So I apologize. The last thing is the Isaac Moore. So it's ordinance number 7-2025. It needs to be amended. So my suggestion for an amendment is an ordinance to approve, and instead of what it says, it would say the addition of a memorial street sign on the Simpson Avenue sign in the southwest quadrant reading Isaac Moore Way. And what I was thinking about is kind of one of those brown and white signs that you see underneath a street sign. I know we've all seen those in different parts of Hamilton County. So that's what I was thinking about, because the way that this reads, it would be actually renaming Simpson Avenue. And I don't think that that was the intent. So does anybody have any? I will just move to amend that ordinance because it's on its third reading.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So I had went and took a picture. Would we put it at the Catalpa and Simpson? That's the last North College Hill Street right before the park. Is that where we would put it? I sent a picture to everybody so that they can see where we could do the memorial.
I would think so. Hold on, let me see. Hold on. Let me take a look at your picture.
Like under the Simpson side, not under the Catalpa side.
I sent it via email. Let me make sure
Oh,
I sent
okay.
it
I
to
was
you.
about to say, I don't see your picture. Okay, you sent it in email. All right.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna forward it to you, Latanya. I sent it to Brandon. And Mary. Let's see, Mary. Joe. I'll show it to you here.
Just from you, we're close enough, yeah. Like I can see.
Wink.
So we're gonna put the footnote on top of there, or?
Okay,
These are top and
so,
bottom.
I think it would go on the bottom of it.
Well, a
Goes on
footnote
underneath
sounds
it.
like a bottom.
Okay.
is it Umbrea?
Embrye.
No, can you come here for a minute, please?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
while she's on her way, I thought we were considering adding his middle name in there too. Is that, and I don't have, I'm sorry, I don't have the legislation in front of me.
I actually do. I guess I'll read to you what the legislation says. It says an ordinance to approve the renaming of a portion of Simpson Avenue to Isaac Moore Way in the southwest quadrant. So obviously we need to, and I guess in the first paragraph it says Isaac Moore Way. So are we saying we want to add his middle initial?
Or
I-
the full name?
Some,
Miss
just because,
Embrye.
just because Isaac
she
Moore
does.
there could be more than one Isaac Moores, because it's
A common name.
it's a more common name than, I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
Madam Chair,
Yeah, Miss Mayor Nichols.
I would agree because he is named after a family member. So just to be,
I'm looking
To
at you.
differentiate.
Yeah.
What's his middle name? So are we thinking Isaac Matthew Moore Way or Isaac M. Moore Way?
I think M.
We could use M.
I think M would be good.
I think the M would be good.
Yeah.
Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
what was his nickname? Ike. So
Isaac Ike.
could it be
Moore.
Isaac Ike Morway?
I think they call his relative that too.
No, okay.
Well, what, Madam Chair? Sorry.
Yes.
What would you like? What are your thoughts? Can you go to the podium for me? Just because TV Land can't hear you.
I needed to show her something real quick.
Oh,
Hold
I'm
on.
sorry.
This is the picture under this.
This was my question. So the only thing with this is, with this, why not when you turn to Old Simpson? You know where the Ameris stop at?
Is that where you want it to be?
Simpson and Galbert.
In addition to the streets.
Okay. Mayor Nichols, I can hear you. So what, pronounce your name one more time. Ambrie. What Ambrie was saying, I'm gonna have to give her $1. Is that she was wondering if it could be under the Simpson Avenue sign at the corner of Simpson and Galbraith.
Simpson and Galbraith.
Okay. Makes sense. Right at that corner store.
Does anybody have any thoughts? Because again, it's up for a third reading, so we have to amend this legislation.
That was right near the park.
Okay, I'm going to ask y'all individually.
It's like right there at the park.
Ms. Zorb, what are your thoughts?
I don't have a opinion either way.
Yeah.
Other than adding the letter M?
Yes, exactly.
Or Ike.
Thank you.
Okay, so Isaac
I did the
M.
same.
Moore,
Too.
okay. Miss Gaston,
It's whatever Miss Ambrie wants. The Catalpa and Simpson is closer to the park, but I can go either way.
okay, so we'll say the Simpson Avenue sign on the corner of Galbraith and Simpson. Reading Isaac M. Moore Way. Okay, so I guess Mr. Davis is giving me his his opinion. I don't know how
Brandon.
those signs normally appear. Like when I've seen them, I haven't really paid attention. Just at the microphone. So is there normally one at every? I don't recall that.
No,
Does
it's just
anybody
that
know that?
one.
It's just the one.
We have an
right?
example, sorry to interrupt, but
Yes.
Hamilton Avenue has Champions of Avenue right there at that intersection of Galbraith and Hamilton, so we can use that as kind of like our go-to.
Right, and it only has just that one. It doesn't
Yes,
like go
it just
all
has the
way.
one, I
Okay.
think, going, it might be, I know going southbound. I'm not sure if it says it northbound at the intersection, but I know southbound at the intersection, it says it right there, Avenue of Champions.
Madam Chair, I've never seen one on the street as long as Simpson
I have.
Street. I thought they just changed the whole name.
No, I've seen them more in the city of Cincinnati than obviously in,
It's section, so I have to decide what section.
so, what now?
You guys said section, so when I think section, correct me, I'm thinking of the part, like a partial part, if you say section.
Madam Chair.
Ms. Chichester?
So, I was given the example of if you ever been to the zoo where Erkenberger and Vine meet, there's one there. I think the young lady name was Chloe. It's called Chloe's Crossing. And it's only in that portion of Erkenberg Vine. It doesn't go down Vine or down Erkenberg. It's just right there at that intersection. So I think that's what you want, right there at that intersection at Simpson and, no.
What are you asking
What do
for?
Okay, so that's what I wanted to clarify. I wasn't asking for memorials, like the memorial name on every street. I only want it on Galbraith and Simpson when you turn that on.
Right.
Okay.
In that intersection.
Well, that's,
just
and
right
that's
there.
what we were kind of, that's what we were clarifying. I think Mr. Davis is the one who kind of threw a little monkey wrench into things, so.
It's okay. And then I just spoke with his mom, with the family member. We want to go with Isaac Matthew Moore Way.
Isaac Matthew Moore, okay. Does anybody have a problem with that? Okay,
Madam Chair,
yes.
my only question is, I know in some previous meetings, we talked about, or you guys talked about, it being that section, and with it being identified that way, when people write out their address for those that live in that section or businesses that are in that section, they don't have to change the name. They can interchangeably use both. Is that still what we're doing now?
Right, so by me changing the legislation so that it's the memorial sign, the brown sign underneath Simpson Avenue, it doesn't impact anybody's address.
No, yeah, it doesn't impact.
Does anybody else have questions?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I would just like to make sure that Ms. Starr validates the exact spelling that we have for Isaac and Moore.
Ambrier?
Actually, even the Matthew, I guess. Just to make sure that we have everything spelled exactly right on the legislation.
Can you spell his name for me?
ISAAC
Is one T?
2 T's. I'm sorry. TTEW.
Okay.
TTEW.
Okay.
And then Moore is MOORE.
Okay. So what I am going to do is in the body of the legislation, I'm going to change Isaac Moore to Isaac Matthew Moore. And in the title of the legislation will say, the addition of a memorial street sign on the Simpson Avenue sign located at the corner of Galbraith and Simpson, reading Isaac Matthew Moore Way. And I'll make that amendment before we have the third reading on the next council, at the next council meeting. Does anybody have any other questions? Okay, it is 6:59. Is there any old business or new business?
I have some new business, but I don't know that we're going to accomplish it in 1 minute.
Same thing with the meeting minutes. I will send them to you all. However, I'm going to use that software Christian uses. So if anybody has a problem, I'm just going to wait for an email from you guys. If I don't get an email, I'm just going to send everything to Christian. Is that acceptable to all the members of the committee?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So it is 6:59. I am going to adjourn this meeting of the Public Safety Committee. Thank you.
I'm gonna start the CCDR meeting. I don't have an agenda, so I will leave the floor open for a couple of seconds to my committee. Is there anyone in my committee have anything to speak about?
Mr. Chair.
Updates?
Go ahead, you beat me.
I think your vice chair, Mashallah Alexander, sent out an agenda. She sent it to us via email.
I sent you a copy too.
I'm sorry, I didn't see that. So I'm sorry, I didn't even see it.
That's okay.
I'm sorry, I still didn't see it, so I don't have a way to see it.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
what I'm
you
trying-
turned it in your
I'm-
computer?
No, I don't have my computer with me, and
Oh,
I can't
okay.
see it on my phone.
All right.
That's
So I
right.
don't have a way to see it. So what I would like to do is, since you have an agenda, I would like to turn over the meeting to you.
Sure.
I'm gonna excuse myself for the rest of the evening, people. I have a real bad headache, and I gotta get rid of it. I'm going home. So.
Feel better?
Get well soon, Mr.
yeah,
Wilson.
Y'all have a good evening.
You too.
Hope you feel better.
Hope you feel better.
I have some ibuprofen in my office.
I don't, that's why I gotta go home. I don't do pills at all.
Okay. Miss Alexander, I didn't get that agenda.
Okay, I will forward it. Are you saying something as well, Ms. Chichester?
No, I'll bring it up in new business.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't know you were good. I put all my stuff in the way here.
It's all right. Be with you momentarily. I had to do this at the last minute before I went to the board meeting.
Miss Alexander,
Yes.
would you like for me to talk about the first topic?
Sure, and I'll be forwarding it to the mayor and Ms. Duxbury.
Alrighty, so there's just been a little bit of discussion about the budget for 2026 and keeping the welcome baskets and things of that nature on this committee and adding funds to our line so that we can continue working on the welcome baskets and things like that. So I think that we were, depending on the budget, thinking about an additional, what was that number, Ms. Alexander?
Well, for the welcome baskets, we were thinking about $25 a piece. Kind of hard to guesstimate how many homeowners. Right now, we're concentrating on homeowners because the renters, I'm sure, would be exorbitant. You know, perhaps we can do some mailers or something like that, pass out some frequently used phone numbers and resources. But as far as the homeowners, we were thinking like maybe $25 a piece and maybe averaging 2 homeowners a month, maybe, something like that. And also for the budget for recreation, we kind of guesstimated a number of a total with the welcome baskets, maybe like 15,000. And that's a total with the welcome basket. And if we wanted to throw like the movie idea or another party in the park, because last year we didn't have anything in the budget, and we didn't want to come up with, you know, trying to scrouch and do something for $2,000 when that wouldn't be conducive. So go ahead.
Madam Chair, I've never seen council host events. That's usually designated or distinguished through the Recreation Commission or Recreation Department, and then that money is put there.
Well,
So I mean, I can understand council having one kind of trademark thing that they do for the community, but like having their own events is not traditionally what the recreational line items or budgets are for. I've never even seen that in any other municipality.
okay, well, maybe I misspoke. I know last year when things were trying to be put on, and I know it wasn't, and we were in a different space because we didn't have a recreation director, and we were advised to kind of come up with a figure for next year. Not necessarily that council would put it on, but to assist the recreation department. So that's what I was going for. Not necessarily that council is putting it on, but I know last year it was, you know, kind of a scrimp and scrave, and we just didn't want to be in that situation again.
So
That department to be in that situation again.
So can I suggest that you read your policy, and then from there, also send myself, I can send you a note with everybody that needs to be on it, and then that money can be funneled through. With the exception, I wasn't sure if you wanted to keep the welcome baskets. I think it's perfectly fine, and I encourage you have like this signature event or thing that you do for the community, if the welcome baskets would be about that, that's fine. If you want to yield that over to recreation, that's also fine. I just think you all have to decide. And then like those things, like the movies and that should really be funneled through the recreation. You can tell them what you want them to do and then build that in that category or department.
So are you saying that recreation is the one that's supposed to be asking for the funds? Is that, oh,
Yes.
okay. Well, that's
you all
fine,
have
too.
your own funds that you need to spend.
Okay.
It would be like the Iron Mountain, which is your costs, costs that are associated with your printing and your documents from your printer and your ink, water drain. If you look at your budget, it's in there. Those things are in there. And so, you know, if you wanted to have like some kind of trademark thing that council as a whole collectively did for the
Okay.
community, I can see the welcome baskets falling into that. That would be.
Well, that's fine. I
not
think
outside of
the
it.
caveat was because we were put in that
Yeah.
mode last year that I just didn't want to get in that. But that's fine if recreation takes care of that.
The only thing I would say on the welcome baskets, I would ask you to consider, you can do it how you want to if you decide to keep the welcome baskets. But I think part of the goal was with the welcome baskets was to inform every new resident. So even if you don't do a quote welcome basket for the renters and business owners, I would encourage you to like maybe hand deliver like a binder or just some kind of mail, like
a paper
stack of
packet.
papers, because the goal is to let them know about Rumpke, to let them know about taxes,
Correct.
The newsletter, businesses, and I think that businesses need to be included as well because we want to, like if there are spaces where they want to advertise or, you know, just talk about their own businesses, it's to build up that business camaraderie here
Madam
amongst
Chair.
one another. So
Absolutely.
We in the beginning of the year we talked about potentially doing the magnets. So I believe that would fall under council's budget then to have that as well because I really thought that the magnet idea was a good idea. If I can just give my opinion, I would definitely like to keep the welcome baskets and the yard competition. That'll be something that council as a whole can do together so that we celebrate what we talk about here and celebrate our neighbors and things of that nature. But as far as partying in the park, moving in the park, things like that would be recreation and that was
so
a
what
little
I'll
bit.
do to initiate the
President.
emails so you know what you want to filter through recreation is I will draft an email with you all on it and the parties in the inside of the city to make sure that you have that information and you can just communicate back, but just one person do it.
Okay.
And then, because there'll be more than one council member
Got
on
you.
there. And then, yeah.
All right.
I was just thinking like the right don't reply all.
Got you.
Madam President. So can we include a letter from all of council welcoming the person? the
Yeah, I think
people
that would
to
be
it?
nice.
I think that'd be nice, and then letting them know who our people are in the city.
I think you should put your email addresses on there
Yes.
and then say who you are. Just like an official thing that council does, kind of their trademark.
It'd be nice if we get those
Welcome.
photos, if we, you know, so that, you know, 'cause sometimes people want to, oh, you don't like your picture? Okay, never mind. Never mind then.
So, I'm going to call you Madam Chair, sorry.
Okay.
Because you are tonight. Perhaps on our next agenda for this meeting, we could have that as an item that we create that letter.
Yeah.
Awesome, nice.
And we can sign it.
Make sure they know who.
Have you,
Let's not
Yeah,
forget to
Madam
include-
Chair.
I'm sorry, Madam Chair.
Yes.
Ms. Stevens asked, have you guys thought about how you're going to know who? And so I have given this some thought. So right now, and that I'll bring this up later in old new business, but there are two ways that you can capture rentees and business owners.
Okay.
I'm not real sure how to target homeowners or new home buyers, because we don't see them as much.
It would have to be an actual search on the auditor's site.
Probably. So you could probably, if you did the welcome baskets quarterly, maybe.
How do
and
they
you could
get?
do a search.
How do we know? Like, what's the communication between Waterworks and Rumpke? Because
Could check there.
chances are pretty good that they're going to sign up for water
Great
and
idea.
and garbage. How do we
Well,
get
but
that back? How do we get that feedback?
I don't know that the garbage, because the garbage is going to get picked up. You just learned the day. Like when I moved in, I didn't register with Rumpke.
Right, but you're still paying for it because you pay for your water bill.
Waterworks.
Right. It's probably through Waterworks.
But
yeah.
I
don't know that they.
release that information.
Right.
We can ask. I can ask.
You know, since they are our they're basically our fiduciary. We might
Right.
actually have access to those records.
Yeah.
Mm.
We can ask to give you the tools that you need to be able to distribute the baskets.
Yeah, I think quarterly is a good idea. Thank you.
I just didn't want us to rely on, hey, are you new to the community? That's not good.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right. Well, I was expecting my chair to be here to talk more about the subcommittee, so we will skip that because I'm not even on that committee. Oh, you have some information? The ad hoc?
We don't have any updates right now.
Okay.
Madam Chair,
And when is the meeting? November?
I don't think he's officially set that meeting. I
Okay.
haven't even.
the fourth
Is it
Monday.
the fourth Monday? Yeah, you know it. I didn't even know. He ain't even tell me.
He said it at the council meeting.
Did he say it? Okay. I didn't see a official email alert.
Like 6 o'clock or something like that?
I didn't have
And he
him
said it was
send
going to be
that
2
out.
hours. And remember, we talked about snacks.
Oh, okay, maybe.
So from 6 to 8?
Mm-hmm.
The fourth.
What is
Monday.
that date?
That's right.
The fourth Monday.
I know. What's the date though?
I'll find it.
The 24th?
Fourth. That's what it is. It's already on my calendar. Mary Ann Joseph.
Do we
No updates?
know for sure? Because I want to
I
notify
think he said it at the
ICRC.
last council meeting, and I had the
text him.
24th, because that's the day we don't have council. And we wanted to keep it on a Monday, so we don't have to worry about impeding on another.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I'll have him send the official update out and have Christian put it all on the calendar for us.
Yeah, it ought to
so.
be sent
Yeah,
as a
that's why I
special
was like-
meeting.
Yeah.
It's a
Okay.
special meeting notice.
Special meeting notice. Now, as far as the community members who are on it, will they have to get a notice to their homes as well?
How else would they learn of it?
I'm sorry, Madam Chair. I collected the email addresses for Mr. Wilson upon direction, by the way. So I sent him a list of their email address, Miss Jillian, and I can send it on to. Are you saying who else needs it? Because I think
Yeah,
that's the only form of communication that,
Oh.
or the contact information that he
Okay.
has.
Yeah, I didn't know whether they would get something at their door, the community.
Probably an email
Members
is
who are
fine.
there?
It doesn't have to be. It's not spelled out in council rules or charter.
Okay.
If you're saying that, ad hoc committees.
Okay.
They can just receive an email, and we can post it publicly.
Gotcha. All right.
Actually, probably Christian should post it, but I could send him an email or one of you guys.
Okay. Right, next on the agenda is Ms. Brielle Beverly Gaston.
Well, it kind of ties into old business, but I was talking with a resident who was interested in the UC outdoor fitness, and I was hoping that we could begin discussing that and what it's going to look like, where we could place it, so on and so forth. People are really interested in that coming to our community.
So we don't have as much buy-in on where we placed it. They have to agree that where it is.
Okay.
And so thus far, I can give you an update on it. If we're going to receive their dollars and community buy-in, then they have to agree. It has to have a certain amount of visibility. They did a whole study of our community to see where we have the most passing traffic. And actually, so they charged us with coming up with locations. And we came up with some, and then they did their study. And we're actually mutually in one space. And that is the park that's by the school. There's a place, but I didn't really want to say it publicly because I have not had an opportunity to talk to Blaylock about it, even though it is city property, because it would leave the school open to so much exposure. I wanted the opportunity to talk to him first. I have not had an opportunity since our last meeting to circle back to have that conversation with him. So that is a potential location.
On Simpson.
No, that's on Bising.
On Bising. Okay, my apologies.
Where Party in the Park was,
Yeah.
you know, the playground, and then off from that is like a fence and a walkway, and then there's a patch of land there. And so that I would leave it accessible for the children and adults. So
Gotcha.
we want to make sure that he has a comfort level of that. And then there are times like during recess or in things like that that would be closed to the public. So we're just, that's where we are, the last meeting. So
At the only space?
right now, yes, because of the traffic, the study that they did, and then some of the other places we looked at, Veterans Park, because it has the landmass, but it doesn't have the neighborhood traffic and visibility that they require in order for us to be qualified for the grant. So there are benchmark parameters.
Was the location of the splash pad considered? Because there's a new parking lot and everything there,
Yes, we did
and
consider
high
that.
traffic.
Yep.
They didn't like that?
I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly why, but that was one of the submissions. I want to say
Becker? Where Becker used to be at?
Becker's not our property,
Oh, it's not.
and we have to own, the city has to own the property.
Oh, I thought that was our property.
It's the school's property.
Madam
So
Chair.
I also asked about Plies Park, but we don't own it, and it doesn't have enough visibility. I asked about 1500. It's just, we don't know what we're doing with that enough to go there. I did ask about the splash pad location. I just can't remember what the feedback was. So that may be a second location that we're pausing on. I just know everyone kind of garnered excitement about the one because it had the right amount of traffic. There's like some equipment that kids can use that they can throw in there kind of for free. So we were just gonna talk about that and go from there. I just need to connect with Blaylock. I hope he isn't watching you mad, but.
No, they're still at the meeting. Ms. Chichester?
Question, the part of where you guys are looking at the school, because I remember when the school was built, is that like lawn, park, green, like grassy area? Because I remember part of the grant for the school, Ms. Nichols can correct me if I'm wrong, they had to have so much green space.
And yes, it will remain green space. It
Okay.
is actually, yes, a lawn and green, and it will remain green.
Perfect. I just
Part
wanted
of
to make sure, 'cause that would
The fitness
completely-
center has to be put on green space.
Okay, awesome. I just didn't want that not to be considered if that was part of their
Are you
deal.
talking about where the pool was? That's not ours anymore, though. That's the school's.
Oh, we're talking about where the party in the park was.
Party with
That
park is
section
the,
with a party
That's
in the
not
back.
where the pool was.
Mm-mm.
no.
No.
Pool's
that-
over there with the park.
But that's the school
That
property
part
too.
is not ours anymore.
Yeah, but then the agreement, when there was a swap, the school district was supposed to use the property for public use. So I'm not sure if that means putting
Well, if it,
equipment on it, but if you look over the agreement says that it will still be used for public use
and
and
that is something that
participation.
we can do if it's public use. So Becker, that's right. Now she's bringing it back to my
Becker is the
remembrance.
school district's property.
Yes, it
They own
belongs
all
to
of
them,
that.
and they don't currently do not use it for public use. So any space that is public use or owned, specifically owned, so that's why I suggested Plies Park. It wasn't because we didn't own it; it was because it didn't have the visibility markers that they needed to be able to do it.
Okay.
And all of this, before any decisions are made, it will be presented. It's just we're working out the tangibles, the location 1, location 2, just getting together that plan first, and then I'll bring it back to committee full circle.
All right. Any other discussion on that?
I do have one question. Actually, no, I'll wait. Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have old business.
I have a piece of old business. So and I asked last meeting, but Veterans Park update. I am a little confused because on a meeting 2 meetings ago, it was said that it was going to be done by the end of this year, but it sounds like it's not. Where are we exactly with Veterans Park?
So I actually went back. I did not say that it would be done. I said the POs would be entered. And so that's what we're trying to do, make sure that we follow up on the specific things that we are requesting be done. Now, Ms. Clear is the person who applied for the grant, and she had some very specific asks, which the city is not, necessarily trying to change that. One of the things that she was adamant about was a wheelchair ramp. Vendors were not yet selected. We're looking through those things and trying to make sure that we quantify those POs so that that money can be spent. And then just look at all the plans that were for that park. We're working on it. We have had a delay in recreational. We went some time without one. She got it right at the end. It was awarded to the city right at the end of her time here. And then getting the current recreational director up and working, and all of the moving pieces that were immediate, and then that we'd have some time before we have to exhaust the resources for that. We're not outside
That
of
was
the
going to be
scope
my
of
next
that time.
question.
So,
Okay.
What is the end date on that?
right, she reminded me that it's reimbursable and that there is no dollar. So, I don't know the end date, but I know it doesn't have to be by the end of the year. So I'm assuming somewhere next year or the following year.
So it's reimbursable. We have to put the funds up first and then okay.
And then I also think that there is a match to it. I think one of say 11%. It was 89% that they provided, and then we provide the 11%. So we have to. You have to remember, it wasn't even budgeted in 2025 to match the amount that we matched. She kind of just got the grant, and then so we would be putting that in 26 anyways. So that's one of the other reasons I know we wouldn't be done with it by 25.
So they're providing the 89%? Is that what? Okay.
I think that's the number. Don't quote me on
Okay.
that. But when I read it, I read it and then it goes away. I mean, it's back here somewhere, but I don't remember the exact parameters of it. But I do know that we have 2 things we have to pay first, and then they reimburse us, and then there is a match portion of it. Now, what that split is, I do not know. I'm pretty positive that it was 89% that they provide, and then the 11 that we provide.
Okay. Is that it for old business?
Yes.
Any new business?
Yes.
I have some new business.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
But go ahead, Ms. Chichester.
Just really quick, so if you guys can share and let your neighbors know that on Thursday, November, what is our date? The 13th, Thursday, November 13th, that the 513 Relief Bus is partnering with a mobile pantry. I think it's, what is it called? Love and Hands?
Yes, Love and Hands.
Love in Hands. So the county commissioners designated funds to food pantries for different neighborhoods. We don't have a food pantry in our neighborhood that I am aware of. Churches may have them, but I'm not sure. But
We have one.
School has
We
one.
have one.
the school has one, but it's not public. It's only for the families and students of schools, because I reached out to them first. In order to receive the grant, I had to have the Love in Hands mobile pantry come so that they can hand out food on Thursday, and 513 is coming as well, and they're going to provide medical services. So there's, with the benefits being cut, there's also some medical benefits that are impacted, and also our federal workers are as well have been impacted. Partnered with Light of the World Church, Reverend Suggs is having volunteers come help carry things to people's car, assist with that, and handing out the food. So from 10 till 2 here on Thursday, November the 13th.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I also believe if you are a federal employee with that, they're helping with the water bill where you can pause your water bill. But you have to show proof
Yes,
that your pay stub, I think they said that you need to bring
yes.
for your water bill.
Madam Chair.
And,
Sorry.
I'm sorry, I was just gonna say, Madam Chair, so you go first.
So you mentioned a grant, or they're just coming?
So the commissioners that already designated it out to pantries,
Got it.
like the Free Store Food Bank, and in order for your neighborhood to receive that, it had to go to a pantry in order for the funding and the food to go out to the residents.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Awesome.
So once I heard that, I was like on the horn, jumping and trying to find someone who would come and support
pantry.
to support our community. So
And is the water bill help just for furlough?
I think it's SNAP and federal
Okay.
workers. You have to show documentation and proof that you're impacted.
Gotcha. Yes.
Madam Chair, so this is one thing that I would like to just add. Sometimes these are sensitive issues. We've gotten a lot of calls with people crying, just frustrated, not knowing where to go, what to do. These resources, like, please share these in your media outlets. These are the type of things that we need to share, because people need to just see it and no one has to know. We don't have to announce. If you do know somebody, send it to them via text, get the word out. No one wants to be in this situation. I don't want to be in this situation. If I were, I would. I mean, all I'm saying is just the compassion and to allow people to receive whatever they need with dignity and love and support, because this could be a very sensitive thing. So I'm just asking that we handle it that way, and we distribute the information as widely as we can to get people who want the help, need the help, the help.
So will this be posted on the city website that we can share it from there?
This is, even though we would have loved to have a lot of advanced communication with this was something that kind of a resource that came to us very quickly. And so it's like turn around with flyers and getting it out there. So we're working to make sure that everything is put out the way that it needs to be. But yes, it will be put in all the places. I think I got the final flyer today. The rec person did. So.
Ms. Gaston?
I was going to say that I would love to have however many flyers to help get that out. And I see that it's on the City of North College Hill Facebook page. I think I've already shared it, but if not, I'm going to share it there as well. So whenever you have those available, I wouldn't mind coming up and getting some.
Reminder that we're closed tomorrow, but I will try to get some of those out and then connect with you, because I don't mind coming up for that.
Awesome. I will be here Wednesday morning.
Perfect.
This really was a late night, early morning, very quickly deal. That trying to get everyone to forces together and partner. You said Wednesday. It's Thursday, right? Thursday.
She meant she.
I meant
come up here
Wednesday.
to get the
Coming
thing.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were coming to volunteer.
I don't
Hey, I
even
can
think
do
it was a whole week out when we got it. When
What'd
you
you
got
say?
it, I don't even think it was a whole week
It
out.
wasn't. It literally was 7 a.m. this morning.
There are a couple restaurants also that,
Yes.
I saw Casano's is, Casano's up in Fairfield is giving away, food to, SNAP and elderly people. So is, I think Richie's
Yeah.
on Coleraine Avenue is, feeding kids that come in with an adult.
Richie has 2 locations, Coleraine and Avondale.
And I'm sorry, Madam Chair.
Yes.
I will remind you that I asked that if you guys have those spaces, please submit them to me. I want to put a list on there. I think Erica had listed the Richies, and I have some of those, but I don't catch them like flies. So if you have resources that you know, I'd love to like keep a rolling list of updates where people can, because to me that's the discretionary way that people can just see a list and not have to let anybody know that they have a need. And I would love to be as respectful of this time of space for people as possible.
I'll send you the
Oh,
Casano's information.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Sorry. One more thing. Reverend Suggs also is in the process of trying to do a formula and diaper drive. I didn't realize with SNAP benefits, a lot of people use this to purchase their baby formula. So we're working on that. So look out for that. And I would like to create a friendly competition among the council to see who can get the most resources for milk and diapers in.
I love that.
I think I got a box in my trunk that I just bought off the Woolworths.
Nah, you cheating. How you?
No, you sometimes when I see stuff marked down at Kroger's,
Well, look
I'll
at you.
just buy it, and even though I don't know anybody, I'm like, somebody's gonna say something.
That's nice.
I ain't been down to baby house since 2009.
2019 for me.
But okay, sorry. Go ahead.
We're at time. I don't want to be
Okay.
a stickler, but we are.
No problem. Anything else?
I'm gonna just save mine to yours.
Okay, sorry.
If nothing else, we can close at 7:33.
Alrighty, let me get my own agenda. Give you a piece of paper that was written on, Ms. Dukestein.
I can't even get my office.
Can I have that back?
Are you going up there? Can you grab me an agenda, please? So.
Ms. Stevens, not with the monthly report.
Good evening, everyone. You all have the monthly reports. I hope I have become consistent in what is being presented. The first page, of course, is our monthly bank reconciliation that shows the actual cash balance in the bank accounts. And, of course, our relief fund, which sits where it sits, followed by our month-to-date bank report. This is an actual CAN report that comes out of our current finance software. So it's kind of this is what the system says we currently have, followed by our bank statements, properly redacted this time. Please forgive my error last month. Just remembering that our payroll account is a sweep account, so it's always begins at 0 and ends at 0. I think probably the most important report, and this is towards the end, of course, our monthly expenses, September expenses by fund. Why do I feel like I'm missing a report?
Fund balance report.
Yep, I'm actually missing the one with the numbers that make up the lovely, beautiful graphs. I apologize. I will have to forward that because the graphs come from numbers. So I do apologize. I did not realize I was missing. We're at a pretty consistent place right now. My goal, of course, is to get us, because this is September, we're already into November, so I'm really ramping up, and hopefully I will be reporting on December and January of 2026. That is my goal, and we're really close to being that. So we're not looking 2 months back. We'll be looking 1 month back, which is what we should be doing. September does show that we did get our mid-year or second half of the year county dollars. Why did I forget? And the following, then we have our remaining budget by fund. You will see that there are a couple of funds that are upside down. Want to make note that the waste collection remains upside down. However, I am awaiting guidance by the auditor of the state, as there were items that were noted that are incorrect from 2024. However, since we are in an audit, I cannot simply move them. I need to get direction from them. And it'll probably be what's called an audit adjustment that will happen at the end of the audit.
So if I'm sorry.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Ms. Stewart.
So, Ms. Stevens-Knott, can you help me to, I'm back on the fifth third.
You're fine.
And where it says description, I'm assuming that has all been redacted.
That is correct.
So how do we really know where that money's going?
Good question.
How do you know where checks were written to?
Yes.
Is that the desire? To know where the
I can
checks
tell
are
you,
written to?
I've heard Miss Underwood say she wants to know where every paper clip went. So, I'll just kind of.
So I will say, if the desire is to know where the dollars or where checks were written to, we can get another document. I resist the bank account or the bank statement listing that information, because it also has account numbers on it, routing numbers, details, names. So that's one of the reasons that that particular area is redacted.
I gotcha.
Because the amount of detail that is there.
Ms. Chief,
Mhm.
is that are we able to type this into Ohio checkbook?
So when you go to Ohio checkbook, I put amounts, check numbers. Their vendor names are not.
No, okay.
That is not, when you look at Ohio checkbook, that information is not there either.
Okay. But it could tell you that.
Because you have vendors out there and they have the names, and you don't know what people do with that information. Account numbers impersonating. So you want to be very careful about what information you leave in the public space.
I would never want their account numbers to be listed, but.
So one of the things when you're doing online banking, some of the identifying information is always account numbers, dates, and names when you're doing online, because that's what you're seeing in that space of withdrawals and debits. That's online banking.
Madam Chair.
Is there any workaround?
Is there any what?
Any workaround?
Any workaround for the online banking?
No.
Oh.
For description information. Just the basic vendor, I guess.
I can send it to you in
we paid $188.55. You would like a name or something, or maybe just a description, or which, because that's adding caseload.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Ms. Duxine.
So I think Ms. Shiva, Shiva can send it to you individually. It is a public record, but they have to be requested the right way. The second thing is, we just had a scenario, and Mayor can vouch for this, where people take information, they piece it together for the purposes of fraud, not necessarily trying to protect you out, but protect people who are up to no good out. So we had multiple submissions to our bank account from information that people were able to take from here. They scrubbed one of our checks and they presented themselves as somebody that they weren't. And if it were not for multiple sets of eyes, we would have allowed those charges. And so we don't want to, those are times when, yes, it is public information, but do we want to put it on a screen or put it in a piece of paper in a lot of people's hands? No.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Ms. Underwood.
I think you should probably verify with Mr. Dieters, but I don't think that necessarily falls under a public record.
Anything that's emailed or put out at a public meeting is a public record. I just
Well,
went through the training again, and what we are able, go ahead.
I think that there are exceptions, though, so maybe
it
we
could
could
be
talk to Mr.
redacted.
Dieters about that.
We can redact it, and that's what we
Right.
did. So she's asking if we can give it to her, and I'm saying Ms. Shiva can provide it to you individually. So when we are putting it out there as a public record, we would redact that information because it's in this public council space. We take that information away. If you are wanting that information individually, I don't see any problem with her printing it out and you come and pick it up. I don't want it to be distributed electronically either.
I guess where I'm saying, I mean, I know Stephen's not puts effort into this, but
I just want to confirm, what data are you looking for? Who? Is it the who?
the vendor, yeah.
It's the who.
Yes, yes,
You want to know who we're writing checks to?
yeah.
Okay.
You want the everything?
Everything?
Or you want the just something specific? Can you put your request in an email, send it to her with me copy, and then she can have it ready and you can pick it up?
Sure.
And then the other thing that I was gonna backtrack and say is, this is in regard to the audit.
Can I hold you for a second? Ms. Underwood, do you want a copy of that too? I know you have mentioned it previously, that's why I'm asking.
What I usually do when I have questions is I wait until a day that I am not in court and I just kind of show up and ask a bunch of questions
Right.
so that I understand what I'm looking at, because I never understand. I just don't understand what I'm looking at half the time. So I usually just encroach on people's kindness to
I
explain.
appreciate your honesty.
I understand that I'm encroaching. I do. And I appreciate these beautiful reports. I just don't understand what I'm looking at.
And so as it pertains to the 2023-24 audit, so Ms. Stevens not expressed that she can't just correct it. For example, even if she I'm not gonna say, she may know what she needs to do to correct it, but in the spirit of integrity, we want to get guidance. So it would look like, oh, well, here was a mistake here and we just made a correction. They're like, what? So we need to make sure that we present what our issue was in terms of why that waste collection is upside down. And then we can make suggestions, or they can make suggestions to us, so that it just keeps our books clean and integral in how the resolve to that audit is. And I just want to say that error was there before we came.
Oh, yeah. The books were closed. That's why I can't make the entry,
Yeah.
because the books are closed. So by law, well, not law, but by GAAP, you can't do that outside of an audit. So it has to stay inside of what's called audit entries. I will make sure that there's 2 documents missing out of here. And so those are the outstanding checks and the amounts, and also the fund balances, the names and the fund balances. So I will make sure that I send those.
Outstanding checks in here.
Yeah,
It's
I
been-
said I thought I seen
So my outstanding, no, that ain't the one I'm looking for.
Okay.
No, that's not outstanding. That's the checks that were cleared on the bank statement.
Okay.
There's a form, there's a CAN report that lists all checks, $185,000 worth of checks that did not clear the bank.
Oh, that's what, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's 2 forms missing. So the fund balances with the numbers that match the pretty pictures, and the outstanding check list.
I think this is it. It's
No, that is
185,000.
ones that,
Those are,
those are the ones that have gone to the bank. Outstanding checks are ones that we.
It says outstanding check report, and it's 185,000. It matches everything you just said.
That's what I saw. That's in it. Oh, yep. There we go.
Good catch, Mary Jo.
I was gonna say it's
one less paper I gotta
yeah.
send you.
I was gonna say it's everything that you're saying.
Oh yeah, that is it. Because those are the 2
Yep.
big checks I was looking for.
Yep.
That's why I was like, I thought.
You just make sure that it's in each packet, because I printed it out. So
Did I miss? I got it. 57 checks. 185.
yep, 185. Okay, then it's just the fund balances that are missing
Yes,
with the
please.
numbers, which correlate with all the pretty pictures. So I do apologize about that. Greatly apologize. Got a lot of forms, dealing with a lot of different things. It's budget time. And that, Madam Chair, concludes my report.
Thank you. Now we moving on to the IAFF agreement.
Madam Chair,
Sorry.
That didn't sound like a madam.
That's my boyfriend, y'all. Go ahead, Ms. Zorb.
I was just wondering if Ms. Stevens, if you had an update on the audit, what's the status, how we looking, what's going on?
So you never know anything. No news is good news.
Okay.
How about that? No news is good news from an audit. I did get some communication today from our IT audit. There's a few more things that they're looking for. They've already asked questions. I do believe you had asked a question about HB 96. That is on the forefront. If you do not know what HB 96 is, please take some time to read it. For our municipality, Keith Faber, the Ohio auditor, expects, or the mandate was that it would be in effect January 1 of 2026. They know that that's unrealistic. However, they do expect that municipalities are moving in the direction of being compliant with HB 96. So our auditors have asked about it and what our plans are to become compliant. And we are actually in negotiations right now with a couple of vendors that will help us to become compliant with HB 96.
Including our current existing IT people.
Yeah. And it's just a high level. I don't know if you guys remember, Columbus got hacked last year. They are the reason that we have HB 96.
It's all good.
Yep. All right, IAFF agreement.
So that was sent out to you guys last time. It's just a matter of you looking at the changes and letting me know what your thoughts are. We're still also talking with the firefighters to nothing set in stone. Bill is also looking at the agreement as well.
Can I ask a question about the agreement? I was curious, looking at their holidays, they get 14 holidays?
So they get 13.
There's 12, no, there's 12 listed that they get paid time and a half, and then 2 that they get paid double time.
So their holidays, the 2 that you see there, those are ones that are unique to firefighters. It's in almost every firefighter's contract that they have. And the other holidays, they moved congruent with the city holidays, and we also are proposing to do that with police as well. That's not set in stone. We agreed verbally to focus on the same amount as the city. So it'll probably,
Is it safe to presume that everything that's highlighted in yellow is something that's changed?
no, those are their asks. Those are not where we've definitively decided.
So this isn't the final version?
No, this is for you all to start looking at, reading, making a decision like, hey, we want that, we don't want that. And the reason I did it this way is because we ended up at the end of the year, and I didn't want you to have to be inundated. We've got 4 contracts plus a salary ordinance to get through. We've got FOP, full-time, part-time, firefighter, full-time, part-time, and then salary ordinance. So there are going to be, you need to have some tangible document before you.
I did have one other question.
Mm-hmm.
How many humans do we have in each position? I don't know how to, so like, how many lieutenants do we have that are full-time, and how many firefighters do we have full-time?
So they're understaffed right now. They're hiring for 2 part-time people. So I think they're at 12, if I'm not mistaken. But I know we have
All
2
full-time?
No, I don't. You said total, so that's the total right now. What they have, I know that Ryan Sawowski, he stepped down, still at our and within our fire department, but he stepped down from part-time lieutenant. So they're hiring for that, and he stepped back into the ranks. And then, you know, with the fire department, they have some people who like don't work regularly, but they just call or are part of the rotation because they're part-time, and we don't ever want to be without service. So I can follow up with those active numbers. So that's kind of the bargaining agreement that they full-time, that's a full-time firefighter. That doesn't include part-time. Part-time is a separate agreement.
I understand. I'm just looking for butts and seats kind of numbers.
I can give you a button
And,
seat number.
and ranking.
So the lieutenants is 2 for sure.
But we don't have them now, right?
We only don't have one. We're
Right, we have
missing one.
Yeah. Ms. Dukestein,
Probably should have asked this while he was, well,
Ms. Zorb, are you,
chief was still here. Sorry, I didn't.
so if you have those questions, we could email them to Ms. Dukestein and get the answers to them from Plackey, because they left.
Okay.
But I had a question,
It's 3 total, but one, with the Ryan, so.
Section 10.5 vacation. I don't have a problem with it. I'm just asking if that's standard to get 6.5 weeks of vacation. But I think
Let me go
with their
back.
job being that stressful, they might need that respite time, but that's.
Is it in hours or days?
It says weeks, 6.5 weeks, and then hours, it says, there's a 10 hours, and then there's 12 hours for like, I guess, the hours of shifts.
Is this for fire? Because fire is 24-hour shifts.
I know they're 20, but it
That's why I was
says,
curious.
it has like 3 columns: years of employment, weeks, 40 hours, 48 hours.
48.
They work 48.
2 hours, 2 days on, 2 days off,
You're
isn't
on
it?
What section?
It's page 12, right? Is that what you're looking at?
I'm looking on my laptop.
What is it?
Down at the
10.1?
bottom.
10.5 vacation, section 10.5 vacation.
It's page 12.
It's highlighted as well, too. That's what made me really notice it. I just want to know if that's standard. That's,
Oh, 20 years?
yeah, 20 and 25. I just want to know if that's standard.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought when you said that, I got very quiet because I'm like, I don't know what she's talking about. Yeah, that is standard. At the beginning.
I thought you did. I was like,
No.
Close,
No, no.
like,
like, did you miss that?
It says
I
1
did
to
not.
5 years, 3 weeks, 5 to 10, 3.5, 10 to 15, 4.5, 15 to 20, 5.5, 20 to 25, 6 weeks, and then 25, you get 6.5.
If you've made it 25 years,
I
as a
was just asking if
firefighter,
that's standard, because it was, you said it was highlighted and it's their ask, and I was just making sure it was.
They're up in the ante on their paid time off a little bit. I highly doubt that it is actually. Firefighters usually retire before that because they're exhausted.
Yeah.
It's very rigorous work.
I'm just asking as far as compared to other cities, is that
it's
standard?
comparable.
Yes.
I guess, so I did have one other
Go ahead, Ms.
question
Zorb.
that sounded, it's a whole lot more than my employer. I'll go there. So section 10.11, the parental leave,
Hold on, let me.
it's page 15, section 10.11.
So the parental leave is new.
Yeah,
And
it's 8 weeks
Plus an additional.
plus they can ask for another 2?
So the parental leave will model what the city's is.
Doesn't it model maternity leave? If it's 6 to 12 weeks, could possibly be for maternity leave. It's
But I
standard.
thought 6 was the standard, not 8.
No.
It's usually 6, and then you can get the 2 more.
So
It's
it's 6 weeks if you
6
have.
and 6.
Yeah, it could be 8 weeks if depending on a C-section.
And it really
or
depends.
Certain
Yes,
complications.
It is 6
It could be
weeks
12
for,
weeks if it's really
vaginal
extended.
birth, and
Yes.
8 weeks for, this is all.
Right, but this is the minimum is 8. That's why I'm saying. Usually the minimum is 6.
Yeah,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So we'll default to the city. We spoke verbally about where we were. So my intentions are to model it after what the city's policy is from the handbook.
I've
6
had
weeks.
several maternity leaves, and I've always taken 8
So
to 12
what
weeks.
the goal is 6 and
Well,
6.
I've only taken 6 for mine.
Oh, no, I took 12 a couple
So
times.
they're coming from not having any parental time at all.
Yes.
I
We have a
took
firefighter
about
off right now.
12 years.
Yeah,
so.
with no parental
With no
time.
nothing. We have a firefighter off right
And
now
we're-
with
My
nothing.
husband took paternity leave too when,
Madam Chair,
yes.
you're
this-
talking paternal.
It's
Mhm.
both.
Both. It's parental
It
leave,
says parental.
Parental.
Yeah.
Parental.
Same.
which is where people are now.
Mhm.
It's both parents.
We don't, we're not talking about the school, but the males only get 10 days. I think it's 10.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Miss?
Not that we're comparing, I believe our gentlemen, I don't believe they get 10 days, I believe it is.
Really? Only 10 days?
That's not.
They can, I mean, now, if their wife or spouse has a complication,
Mm-hmm.
they can extend it, but I believe it's only 10. Not the actual
Miss-
female. giving
Madam
birth,
Chair.
but
Yes, Miss Underwood.
Ms. Dukestein, what is the date that you emailed that contract?
It came from Ms. Chichester.
10/12. It was like 9:40 in the morning.
9:38.
What'd you say?
9:38.
Oh, I think I said 2. Yeah.
So
It was right before Indigenous People Day. Yeah, it was the
Madam
Sunday.
Chair.
Yes, Ms. Zorb.
So, yeah, I'm still stuck on this. So, so it does say paid parental leave. So does it come out of sick leave or is it just paid? Like, do they use sick leave for any of this?
Isn't it
No.
like
Paid
FMLA?
parental leave. It's a separate bank of time.
Mm-hmm.
oh, I need to work for them.
I mean,
Hey, birthday.
this is what what we formerly knew as maternity leave
Yeah.
is turned into parent leave. And this is what it looks like. Now, they ask for the 8 consecutive weeks. That'll change. It'll be 6 and 6. And per advisement, I just took a training on this. Because we were in these negotiations, you really do want to give both parents, they don't have to take the time. They probably will take the time up through the 6 weeks. But you can't distinguish male, female requirements of a home. And I know that there are a lot of dated policies out there, but we don't want to do that as a city.
I think most organizations are moving toward a home work-life balance, family-friendly oriented. Yeah. I enjoyed having
Because
my
I mean,
spouse
just
there.
in theory, one of the things that was mentioned in the training is both parents are equally responsible for caring for the baby. That's what it is. It's parent leave.
Madam Chair.
Even in adoption, it's called
Yes.
bonding
Absolutely.
time. So no matter, it's still the time for the family. And I think that's awesome that we're able to do that. I'm sorry, Ms. Gaston. Yes?
Nope, I was actually going to say adoption time.
Mm-hmm.
My husband had 8 weeks off. I had 6 plus 2. And it's really important. So it doesn't matter if it's paternity,
And so
It
in
all
order
matters.
to do what is right and equitable for the departments,
Mm-hmm.
that's why we're moving to something that looks like parent time, hence the title, as opposed to
maternity.
maternity leave, because it's very biased. And there are lawsuits cropping up everywhere. We don't want to be a part of that movement. We want to do what's right. I will tell you that the negotiation is 6 and 6 to make 12. So that means that at least 6 weeks are paid. The 6 weeks additionally would be optional based on what your family composite and finances can withstand. And that's a choice. That part of it is a choice.
What if they don't have time?
What do you mean if they don't have time?
Mean
Can they
hours
take it
banked?
unpaid?
Don't we have LTD?
Yeah.
Yeah, because then it goes into
FMLA
LTD
is
and
after the
STD.
6 weeks or 8.
Or is it
depending.
STD or LTD?
If it's a
It would be
it,
L.
it goes into one of those two. It kicks into the at the 60%.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I know we're looking at this, but is this also like that for the police?
Yes.
They have the same.
Mhm.
Okay, that's
We're hoping
beautiful.
to
Thank you.
model it across all of them. That's why when we did the MOU
Mm-hmm.
for fire, we wanted to gap it a year so that we can look at the contracts across the board and create continuity. It's hard. This is a hard year for us, and it'll be for you as well as you look at these, but these need to look very similar across the board. And it's hard to decide or understand the weight of these contracts on the city if you're looking at all of them scattered plots. It's like, okay, what did we do with Public Works? What did we do with fire? So we're looking at least fire and police in all 4 of the contracts across the board. Public Works is still kind of out there, but they're also highly dependent upon the levy.
So I have a question about Article 16, outside employment. I see that something is crossed out. So back in the day, I knew a firefighter that worked here in the city and also as an EMT at Children's, another organization. So it's marked out other than firefighting. Or so are they taking that out? Who put that in and who removed it?
That was their choice,
Oh, okay.
and I'm not gonna fight them on it.
I'm not either. I just want to make sure they were, yeah. All right. I saw the boot and socks and stipend.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that they have to have special things, they put that in there. They put the 500 in there for the socks and the stipend for the allowance for the
Uniform.
yeah, uniforms for. It says the city will provide each employee a stipend of her non-issued uniform items in the amount of $500 in order to purchase shoes, socks, long underwear, belts, etc.
Section 14.1,
Thank you.
page 18.
That's an ask that will probably change.
What'd you say?
It's an ask that will probably change.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions on this agreement before we?
So this is where it stands right now. It's with Bill. And he's looking it over, and then we'll come back with a final, and then you'll be able to look and put it in some legislation to vote on it.
When does it expire? Because I see that if it expires, the agreement shall remain in full force and effect until a new agreement is executed. So when does this expire?
At 2020, in 2025. This agreement this agreement we are aiming to get done by the end of the year. FOP, we will not be able to, so we are already put a MOU in place, which models the previous agreement. And we have the latitude to do that. And that is no fault of the cities or any negotiations. We started in July, and then the police officers were having issues coming up with their terms. We did get their final terms today.
For them or police?
For police.
Okay.
And we
So-
had a meeting today. So all of these will be coming. This one will probably be finished before the end of the year. We will not need the MOU.
Okay.
The police will.
That was going to be my next
And then
question.
part-time contracts are daunting, but they'll be trailing right behind these.
So, when do you think
This one,
negotiations will be?
once we speak with Bill and on this one, he has it in his inbox and is reviewing the changes. He and I will talk together with the union representative from FF, and then we'll come up with some final concrete terms. We'll put it back to you guys, and then we'll vote. You guys are gonna put in a piece of legislation and vote on it.
Okay. All right, we're moving on. Anybody else have any questions about this agreement before we move on? All righty. So we're moving on to questions about the budget. It is a fluid
Here, let me
document.
give you this is the 2026 actuals, and so Ms. Gasson sent out a question.
I got a printout already. I'm good. Thank you.
It's a fluid document. It changes.
Madam Chair,
Different than the one you just sent last night?
what is the date?
Actually, it is.
Yeah, it's a
What
fluid
is-
document. It's constantly
What
gonna
is
be
the
changing.
date of the last one that you emailed, please?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Oh, never mind.
So that's why I wanted to make sure we all understand that this is a work in progress. So as we continue to work, navigate, update, things will change, and that's why we're gonna have to have a special meeting put in place sooner rather than later. I'm sorry, I heard that. I'm sorry. I
Madam
heard
Chair,
that. Yes, Ms. Underwood.
Ms. Shiva, can I just make an appointment with you for you to explain this? Because I don't understand it.
You know what? That is a fair statement, but I'm sure,
We can
do that. We could do that. Y'all, because y'all, it can't be more 3 out in the same place at one time, so. But yeah, definitely, I think
I would
it's.
like to join.
Okay, well, that bean's full. But yeah, you definitely can. I do want to make sure that we are all aware that that document that you're looking at is the document that has been going to the county since 2017.
And so, Ms.
May I?
Gaston.
I'm sorry, Madam Chair, may I ask a
Hold on.
question real quick? I have, because I'm like that, can we start putting like version numbers on them so that I can keep track? Is that possible?
You can put that version
You can
on.
you can put the version on it. Because for me,
Right,
I'll
but
say
when they get emailed to us, then I don't know which one it is.
it's the
with me?
next version from the last one you got. I will say this,
Agree.
and I'm not being snarky. One thing now, maybe in 2030, if I'm still here, my process will be a lot more fluid. But in 2025, coming into an environment where documents and numbers were literally in 19 different places, and trying to pull all of this data in with good numbers, questionable numbers, I hope this is right numbers, this document continues to evolve.
We talked about that prior. That's what I was actually going to say. Every year, the budget, you get multiple versions of it, and internally, we're saving it over because we know we won't ever go back to that old version of it. But as we talk, we're coming across, because a huge part of forecasting for 2026 is dependent upon how much we spent in 2025. We're still spending. So
Can I add to that? It not only is it what we're spending in 2025, but then we learned that there are expenses for 2024 that landed in the beginning of 2025. So those numbers actually were spent in 2024, but right now they're a part of our current year. So those things have to be extrapolated out in order for us to get a true version of, and this is stuff that literally every day that I go back to this, I'm like, oh, we found something new. Oh, we found this. Okay, well, that doesn't go there. That's how we found out about the waste account being upside down and why it was upside down, because of entries. And so it's a moving target. No, it's not. Well, yeah, it probably is right now. But I will say this to that. In 2020, my goal, because I have also been in conversations with our software provider that has a budget information systems program that will allow for our fluidity of making the budget becoming a community document. So you will be able to, as a user, the new counselor, whomever, will have the ability to go onto this portal and watch the budget being developed over the year. Okay, so and you'll be able to see, like, oh, we changed this, we changed that, and and it'll show you, the audit will be there. Now you can't change nothing, but
so-
you'll be able to see it as it's developing.
So when you asked that before, it's not that we don't want to deliver, but you, as a council group, historically have asked outside of us being able, like, there has to be a close off point where we are able to make changes that we may have anticipated costs to come in, but maybe they don't come in that month. So then if you're asking about every little change, that perceptionally absorbs time that we need to be doing actual work. It's not the lack of transparency that it is. It's just how the information is given to you. No one's trying to keep you out of the information, but if you're asking things in the space where we're still getting to the end point, then we're taking time away from workflow to answer those questions, and it may be more responsible and efficient of our time if you wait until that month closes out. So that is the kind of update that we're landing with that. But I wanted to address something that Ms. Gaston put in an email. And I just want to remind you all that if you're talking to anybody that reports to me, I need to be on those emails. And it's not about control. It is that even though she does the numbers portion of some of it, I handle the overcast of what is going on for the entire city. I'm telling her, we need to incorporate this, we need to do this. I'm talking through contracts and negotiations. She doesn't sit in all those spaces. And so I don't want her to give you a purview that only is limited to what she can see real time in that moment, where I have a more broad perspective. And it is also just respectful to include. And so you had said, okay, and it's not only is it respectful, it is lawful. It is in the charter. So let's honor that.
And other cities actually have a person where you wouldn't be able to go directly to a department head. You go to that person, like a go-between liaison.
I'm sorry,
And,
Madam Chair. I'm really trying to follow along today. I missed something. Something just went over my head. What just happened?
We're talking about communication directly to department heads.
What, I know,
From
but
council to the.
I thought it was sent to the chair and the
was
vice chair.
was it what just happened? Can somebody knows what I'm asking? Can somebody please
Madam
answer
Chair.
my
It sounds
question?
as
Madam
though
Chair,
an email
may I
was sent
res-
directly to a department head and
Without
not
me on it.
No,
without.
at
Oh,
Thursday,
okay.
November 6th at 8:38, I sent an email asking about the actuals because I didn't see it. So I sent it to Latanya Chichester and Ms. Stevens Knotts, and I CC'd the vice chair and our city administrator.
No, I'm not on the ones that were sent to me. And so, or the ones that were sent to them. But even moreover,
It was two different.
there were two different ones. One I was on, one I wasn't, and I don't know if that was by mistake. And if it was by mistake, that's fine. I'm just reminding you so that I can answer the questions. I know where the questions are. The other thing is, we talked about the actuals not being there.
She replied. So
I know
she
she
already
did.
copied on it.
I don't know.
Okay, the first email, she was on the first email. The second email that brought all the thoughts together, she was not on that email. And that's the email that got the response. Okay, it's real simple.
And so then the actuals, they were titled
Incorrectly.
but the actuals not rounded up. So the actuals were there. We double checked the actuals with the document that I had from last year. So when I responded to you, that I was legitimately saying to you, am I missing something? Because when I looked at it, it was there. So the titles have changed, but the actuals, there's just more complete information in there, because we did a comparison of the actuals that we had from 2024 to 25 when we were forecasting for 25, However, they were there in the original document. And in this budget process, you will receive multiple versions as we're going through and making changes, because we are still spending. We are still finding out. And so some of the numbers will change.
We're also still learning what our revenue numbers are. Historically, when I looked back, there was a little bit of just pulling numbers out of the sky. That is not sound budgeting, and it's also not smart, especially with a narrative around how much cash is in the bank. And so we need to make sure that we have a balanced budget, and that we are realistic about what our revenue will be and where we need to get more revenue. Hence the push towards making sure we know who all of our residents are, all of our businesses are, because I don't know if anyone realized, but when we got our certificate from the county, we did not get a raise. It actually went down from the last 3 years.
And there's also, to piggyback on what she's saying, there is legislation at the state level, county level, to pull back property tax.
Property taxes.
It's a state.
That's a state.
It's a state level.
Well,
And the
state
county
level.
is fighting.
Yes, that's where it was.
Yeah.
The county came in with the fight. And so we want to make sure that we are representing the numbers equitably, with integrity, with transparency, but there has to be a level of just flexibility on your part to know that the document is fluid. I think Ms. Underwood said a couple years ago, this document is always fluid. It's always going to change. I wish that we could give you a document at a certain time of year and it was not unchanging, but that's just not how the numbers work, because there's always cash flow coming in and out. Nothing's constant.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Ms. Orr.
So, I mean, for the sake of this conversation, we're really only, I mean, I understand the actuals in 2025 are fluid. I get it. But as far as the sake of this conversation, we're really just talking about the very last column, which is the budget for 2026.
I wish we could say that, but remember we said that the waste line is upside down. It actually got closed out before that got put in there. So some of those numbers, that was one of the things that we were in a debacle about. Do we put it in there and force feed it to you from this spreadsheet, or do we just say wait until the audit and you see the correction? Because it's very difficult for you to see actuals and what is spent in 2025 if we put that number, which it is sitting in 2025 right now, but it's actually in 24 and will be moved in 24 once we have the auditors specifics on how we need to put that in there. And that's not something that myself or Ms. Not created, but we are, we want to create and put out there information that you're going to understand. And so the books got closed out without that being put in the right month in year. So it landed in 25, but it actually goes in 24. And in order to correct that, we have to wait for the advisement of the auditor. So it's like when we're talking about this, and we're understanding how that happened, what that happened, we have to have the discovery of when did it happen, how do we correct it, do we make the auto correction so that you can see how we decided to forecast for 26, or do we leave it in 25 where you're still seeing an upside down? So those numbers for 24 are not as solid as you think.
So, Ms.
Okay,
Dixon,
but
what I hear
as a
you
general
saying
rule
is-
of thumb, is the budget number for 2026 is a general rule of thumb, taking the whole Rumpke thing out of the equation.
Can't do it.
Has that changed?
No.
Yeah, no, not, well,
Okay.
it's when has it changed? Yes.
Are you
Why is it
fluctuating
changing?
those lines too? I guess.
Well,
that's where I'm
okay, so the first iteration of it is shooting for the moon.
Yes.
And actually, no, we shot for Mars. What do you want? Okay, because we don't know what we're going to get or what we're not going to get. Okay, so and we don't know what we don't know. So if we don't allow
That's to
the
the department heads,
conversation,
I'm assuming?
correct? Yeah.
Okay.
So if we don't allow them to say, yes, we want an entire fleet of of police cars, we'll never know that that's what they want. Now, does that mean they're getting an entire fleet of? No. So when I say like our budget right now is not balanced, so we're now trimming the fat.
Yes.
Sat down with mayor. We're looking at each department. But I will tell you at the end of that's why these contract negotiations are so important, is because no one has ever balanced a budget getting rid of pens.
Right.
Okay,
You're in the
I hear you.
sticks in the
You're right.
woods.
We're in the weeds when it comes to payroll. That is just the reality, and we're doing it
And
in an
should be.
environment
Yeah.
where we didn't get a raise from the county, and we didn't raise our levy. And everybody's last one of our employees want a raise. They want more vacation time. They want 18 pairs of boots, 9,000 pairs of pants.
Yes.
And so we're in the process now of trimming the fat, but we're also having the conversations around where do we get more revenue, i.e. all of these legislations around registration. Where do we know where our residents are? That subpoena program, which I literally have people calling who have been living here for 6 years and have never filed a return. And we're confused as to
Those are
why
some
they
of the
were getting
tiers.
the letter.
Yeah.
So
Okay. EMS, for as much as they do amazing work, the government shut down. Guess what? Those dollars stopped moving.
Yeah.
All the filing that they did, that stopped. But they still got to go take care of customers, people who have issues. And so now we are looking at, okay, this is all the cash we got coming in. How do we make sure everyone is paid and that we have a decent work-life balance?
And then we have other things that preempt, like right now we had an assessment by Teasdale Fenton over at the fire and police station to make sure that the environment where they work out is safe. Now, it turns out that they can, but we do have some unexpected expenses right here at the end of the year that we are going to have to satisfy in order to maintain a healthy workout environment for that space. It's also where we keep some storage files. So, I mean, I guess I just want to explain that so you guys know what you're looking at and why it is. It feels like you don't trust, but what we're trying to do is create an environment where you can look at the numbers and understand that no one's trying to pull wool over your eyes. Hence the reason why we work towards getting you to a space where you can see numbers in the software, but not at the expense of us being able to do day-to-day operations and using or executing timeout to explain things in a space where they're not concrete.
So what I hear is that you're cleaning up some past stuff while maintaining the
Yes.
current stuff and building your future stuff.
Absolutely, and it is.
And that's
I mean,
hard to do all three things.
yes,
Put that on a
it is.
T-shirt. I love that. Thank
We
you.
work really hard as a team to make sure that this is happening. And then I'm also making sure that I'm sitting at the helm of good decisions for the city and the cost that we were encountering in these negotiations. We have 5 contracts pending this year, and that is very, very hard on the years that we do have that. 5 contracts and 2 levies. When I tell you the weight of that is extreme, but that is the work that is going into this budget for 2026. And then we will be able to do things like forecast for 3 to 5 years down the road. But we have to get things fixed up. And I appreciate the press for the right thing, but I have sat on council and watched council members not press city administrator for 10 months straight on not delivering a financial report. So I want to be able to give you a financial report over and over again with the questions in the vein of where are we, how do we understand this? I really appreciate Ms. Underwood saying, can we sit down and meet? Because I think that's the right way to approach it. No one's trying to deceive you.
All right, so where are we at?
Number 4.
8:30? So we do still need to have a special meeting dedicated to just the budget.
And that's why I was saying this gives you, I'll send this version out electronically. Or I'll send it to Ms. Chichester. If you want to schedule a meeting in between now and next Monday, I will incorporate Erica and Ms. Gaston on that. Actually, yikes. Okay.
What you just do?
No, it's just the time and all the negotiations, because that meeting is at 12. But I'll send this out. You don't have this one electronically. I wanted to make sure you have a paper copy so you can look at it the way you want to, and electronically. I can guarantee you by the 24th, some of the things will be updated, and we'll have an ability to explain where and why we updated those things as we're continuing to streamline and get the budget balanced. This is at a high level, those asks. This is shooting for Mars, and some of them have been scaled back and some of them have not.
So, in preparation,
Preparation.
yes. Sorry.
That's
It's been a
just
long
for the
day.
record. That's why I asked Ms. Chichester to schedule a specific meeting devoted to the budget, because I knew you did not have this document. I knew that there needs to be some small questions on it. I knew you wouldn't have it in time to talk about it. I don't want to do that to you. I want to give you the opportunity to research, dig, and look, and ask questions and propose new things. So I will send that, again, I'll send it out tonight, and then you have a paper copy also.
And I knew you guys were still working, so it didn't make sense to meet when you were still fixing and things. So now that we're at the point where we have something we could look at, color on, read, lay it under our pillow so that we can prepare to come to the meeting and ask more questions.
I do have one more, Madam Chair, I have one more question.
Go ahead.
So, Ms. Stevens, not with regards to the revenue, is this, are we close on this document?
It's close.
Okay.
But my desire, in order to provide understanding, is to get the numbers in the right buckets so that they really make sense. So right now, there's literally like 85 buckets, like rollbacks and delinquent taxes and things like that. So I am now working to put the money in the right bucket so you can see where those dollars are and where they are not. I think it's important. I like to pick on the police, and Cheney knows I pick on him all the time. He likes to say stuff about the tow lot, and so that number is up there. But it's like, well, what's the real number? So putting it in the right spot so you can see it. Putting actual EMS dollars in their right bucket so you can see how that plays out. Public Works, same way. And this is the revenue for the general fund. Like, where does it really come from? Because the amount from the county, only like 1.3 million comes from the county for the general fund. The rest of that is us. So, when you have departments leaning on the general fund at such high levels, that number is the one that we really need to be concerned about.
And so even in terms of being at the helm of making decisions of whether or not you say, hey, I think there was some conversation around the tow lot and the police receiving their proceeds from the tow lot versus fire department receiving their proceeds from EMS. First of all, there's legislation that supports EMS receiving those dollars. But when you look at the actual proceeds from the tow lot in comparison to the absorbency rate of the police sitting on the general fund versus fire department sitting on the general fund, it would make you like pause for a second. Like, it's not one size fits all created equal. So those are, we could, they're not like, we just don't, you have to make sure that we are taking good care of the city, because all the departments lean on the city.
Okay.
And if the city is at a disadvantage, we won't be able to take care of all of our departments.
All right. So we got to move on to the next, because we still got 2 more things on the agenda. So,
In the vein of that, do you mind? I wanted to, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You're running your meeting. I apologize.
I was going to look at the calendar to see what we can get on the calendar. I see, Vic has his on the 24th. Then I want to make sure Ms. Shiva has.
What time?
24th is Monday.
No, Vic has the ad hoc committee coming on that day from 6 to 8, I believe it is.
Oh, wow.
We could meet afterwards at 8 to 10.
What?
Thanksgiving week?
I vote
We're either
no
gonna
if
be
we're,
here
if
Thanksgiving
you're
week or
asking.
Christmas.
So
Which
that,
one?
yeah, we're
Because
gonna be
we're
here Thanksgiving week, Christmas week, or New Year's Eve week, because we have to get these in.
The flu is coming. I'm feeling it right now.
Next week.
And it's very contagious.
We will implement remote video conferencing. We
It's
have
illegal.
to get
For
the
COVID.
budget, you guys, done. Unless y'all were looking at that Black Friday.
What about
I mean,
next
Madam
so
week?
Chair.
the next meeting is on the 1st.
Yeah, December December is
And
the
then-
week
and
after
then-
I
that.
mean, Madam
we're gonna
Chair,
have to have
you
at least
skipped
2
the whole
meetings.
week.
I was
You
like, yeah, what
skipped-
about
oh,
next
yes,
week?
yeah,
No, next 17th is the meeting.
Madam
We
Chair.
have
But
a
you
meeting.
still have the
Next
whole
week
week.
is council.
Madam Chair.
Okay.
You went from
What?
to Black Friday, but you just
So
concentrating
she's
on the
saying-
Monday?
Okay, so she's saying you could do the 18th, 19th, 20th,
Yeah.
or 21st.
I ain't say the 21st. I don't know how y'all feel about Friday, but
Madam Chair, can you just ask Mr. Wilson to defer his meeting?
He's already deferred
Deferred
it
twice.
But he hasn't sent out a meeting notice. Jump the gun. Get it out before he does.
Madam Chair.
Yeah, that would be mean. I don't want to do that.
So what's the
Yes,
13th?
Ms. Gaston.
Madam Chair?
I can't do nothing
If we-
I
else
gotta
more this
take her
week.
first. She said it 3 times, and we have not given her
Three's a good number.
opportunity to speak.
If we absolutely have to, I am saying that I am willing to stay until 10. I know others may not be, but again, it's the holiday season. I don't see anywhere else. You definitely ain't gonna have me on November 18th. So I don't know if we can bump the ad hoc committee earlier.
On the 24th?
We could do the 21st.
Are you, what about the 19th?
I'm about to say, what's wrong with the 19th?
What do we have a CIC or anything? I'm not even sure.
that's usually a Thursday.
I am teaching.
What day do you have available?
I can possibly get. Oh, it's a Wednesday. I absolutely can't do a Wednesday. My
Okay.
coverage
So
is
what
not
about the
available on
20th?
Wednesday. I could possibly, if she's watching, get my wonderful colleague to cover me on the 20th.
I can't do the 20th.
Okay.
I can't do
21st.
the 20th either.
22nd.
Saturday?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
I know
No,
we got
I'm the
those,
only one old enough to
I have
know that song.
negotiation meetings on Saturdays coming up to try to speed it up.
It's looking like the 24th, Miss Chichester.
We can
8 to
do-
10.
What about 21? What about Friday?
I can't do Friday.
I
That's
can't do it Friday either.
basketball. I mean, you guys can meet without me.
That seems counterproductive.
Yeah.
Well, we have Miss
Saturday.
Stevens not.
Yes.
She can do Friday night.
She
I
could
don't
do
know.
Friday. She can't do Saturdays.
Can you do Friday night? Can you do Friday night the 21st? Does that mean no? Does that look mean no?
No, I'm looking at her because she did a,
Can anybody do anything this week?
no,
I can't
not
do
after
nothing
today.
this week. I got.
After today, no.
they
And we
have
got
the
a
12.
Wednesday.
We got the.
And Wednesday, we got 12:30 to 6 for the FOP.
Do you
I will
need
be,
Miss
my brain will be
Stephen
shot.
not here?
Yes.
One,
Yes.
yeah.
So we get
Facts. And then we
questions
have-
answered.
'Cause, yeah. Wednesday FOP is going to take me out. So, what's the 21st look like for you? Can it be like early, like 6?
What time, on the 24th?
No, on the 21st.
First, Friday.
Oh.
I'm
can't do
good on Fridays. I don't have no life.
Right. I really don't have one either. So, I can do the 21st.
Let me,
If
hold
we-
on, before we
let's see
commit,
something.
before I commit.
21st.
Let me, connect.
No Saturday?
I would rather do Saturday than
In the morning?
21st.
I got a gala on the
The options
22nd.
on
I
the
can't do
Monday,
that.
the 24th. You saying the late to 10?
Yeah.
I'd rather
8 to
do
10.
that.
Okay, who's buying dinner?
Victor Wilson.
So
Vic,
when
if
is
you
Mr.
watching.
Wilson's meeting?
6 to 8.
6 to 8.
So can we ask him maybe if he can move his meeting up?
5 to 7.
I
yes.
have asked him to move his meeting twice because of the
aight.
special committee meetings we had. So I cannot be the person to ask. He will not
do it for
Is
me.
this for the budget?
I'm at a,
No, that-
Says
the
ad hoc.
budget is for the meeting that we're having, but Mr. Wilson's
I'm out of
meeting-
favor.
No, I mean, that's what
That's
you
fine.
guys, because you guys are gonna, I'm in Ms. Underwood's, graces now because, but it didn't happen the last time. Most of the time you have more than one special meeting.
True.
So you're looking in, I'm like,
So we wanna
December,
get
what's in
'em
December?
early, as early as we can, you know, so there's enough time, because this year is unique. We have never in the history had 5 contracts to do at the end of the year with the budget and a cleanup. That has never happened. We are trying to really expedite some of this, so I know that it is bad in terms of timing, but it is right in terms of figuring out what's good for the budget.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Ms. Gaston.
what about this Friday, the 14th?
Hold on.
I can.
Do you need a committee of the whole?
Oh, no.
Can we do 4 to 6?
4 to
Okay,
6.
I can do that. On Friday?
I can do
I
that.
can do that. I'm
I
willing
can
to
do
do that
that.
on Friday. Yeah.
4
yeah.
to 6.
Because if I get around the corner, it's over.
I'm still working.
I mean, even if you guys want to just join when you can. As
Oh,
long
I
as
can
we
do
have a
4.
quorum.
No, I forgot.
4:30?
I have a.
What about 5?
I'm in the community.
5 is perfect.
5.
Can it be 5:15? If I get off work at 5, I can be here by
Come in
5:15.
come in later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine, and then I can just you can revisit whatever.
1, 2, 3, and hopefully he'll be here. That's the quorum, and then you can come in at 5:15.
Ms. Underwood, I haven't heard anything from you down there.
I have a very contentious hearing on Friday, the 14th,
Okay.
from 1:30 to 4:30, so.
And there's no way you're gonna make it downtown in the here between,
She's
Oh,
just saying
oh.
she's gonna be exhausted.
okay.
I'll get here maybe. I'm just, yeah, I don't know.
Just take good notes and give them to her.
What, and then,
That's what it's for.
Then we only got 3 of us then. We need 4?
3 is a good number. Trey Club.
Excuse me. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, it's only 5 of us, so 3 of us is still fine.
I'm not getting here till 5:15.
But you'll still be here though, right? Though.
But you can't start until you have quorum.
But we can be in the building.
Why don't you
Yeah.
just say 5:15?
Well,
so if
5:15.
Mr. Wilson doesn't come, we'll do 5:15. If he can come, then they'll do 5.
Okay.
You can't start early.
Cannot
You
start.
You have to just,
If you're gonna start the meeting at 5:15,
No, what I'm saying is, if Mr. Wilson can't, Mr. Wilson.
I know what you're saying.
Okay.
I know what you're saying, but what I'm saying is why don't you just start the meeting at 5:15 in case he can't come?
Okay.
just default to the 5:15.
Yeah.
That's Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Friday, 11:14.
11:14.
Hold on. Oh, okay, I'm done at 4. So that's fine.
Highlighter is.
Did that. Alrighty. Friday, November 14th at 5:15, we will have our budget and finance meeting
Special
discussing
meeting.
the 2026 budget. Man, that took a 17, 15. Alrighty, ARPA funds.
This paper.
So, do you want me to start, or,
I printed out the legislation for you guys.
okay. Sorry. I couldn't catch you. You were moving too fast. Oh, shoot.
Madam Chair.
Go ahead, Ms. Sustine.
So I just want to, I guess I'll just jump right in because I don't understand. Did we miss a portion from the last conversation. So I feel like what you're asking me to do is apply ARPA funds to the abatement of the asbestos and remediation of the mold using the remaining ARPA funds, correct?
Yes.
So did you find something that you think that allows the funds to be used that way? New from the information that we learned at the prior meetings?
So we have to abate the mold and asbestos to move forward. Is this not able to happen?
So I was confused because I read whereas the CDBG program administered by Hamilton County, Ohio Planning and Development Office includes several eligible projects, one of which is abatement of asbestos to help eliminate the specific conditions that contribute to the deterioration and prevention of blight in both publicly and privately owned buildings in low to moderate income municipalities, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So based on the prior, I'm just trying to understand what you put here. Because based on the information that we presented before, and I sent you all the ARPA documents, and I passed them out, and they were highlighted in yellow, the ones that quantify how we can use the ARPA funds. And so I looked to see if we could use the CDBG dollars, which we can use for abatement, even though we had priorly, and I printed this out for you as well. I didn't print as many of these,
Madam Chair.
but we weren't.
Do you want her to continue while you finish, or do you want to finish? Go ahead, Miss.
I guess I just had a
Karen.
question based on what she said.
Thank you.
It says to help eliminate the specific conditions. So if I'm reading this correctly, you're just asking to abate it, but how do you eliminate it? If you just abate it.
No, abatement would be eliminate.
But I guess I'm thinking we're not doing it preventative. We're not preventing future. So maybe-
Mold.
Yeah, we're not.
So
We're not
both,
taking any preventative measures.
so I printed the CDBG dollars out because both of those are in the space of maintaining or restoring to original value. So if you're just doing this without a roof, a roof is what caused the mold, we're not going to be able to use the dollars that way. I mean, we can put it in and spend it, but as soon as we don't finish the project, we have to just put that money, pay it right back out.
So that was my question, one of my questions this weekend. What can we do with the ARPA funds that remain?
So are we then scratching this?
No, I'm just asking a question. What can we do with the ARPA funds that remain, regardless to this piece? That was something that Ms. Chichester said that she was going to put on the agenda so we could talk about. So I brought this forward because if we can use it to get started on a project, that would be amazing. Because we still have the ad hoc committee on the 24th and looking at everything to figure out what is the best. But at the end of the day, we still have to abate the mold and asbestos, no matter what.
I think the roof is the problem that allows the water to come in. It creates the mold over the moisture and time. So if we don't fix the cause, it's just going to recreate itself. So if we do the mold, and we do the asbestos, but you don't fix the initial problem, it's just going to come back. You're just going to have mold grow again, or you just going to have it possibly break down the asbestos again if you don't fix the problem. So if you have a toilet overflowing with water and that damages your floor, and you
fix
don't
the
fix
floor,
the, yeah,
but
you
you don't
fix the
fix
floor,
the-
but you don't fix the toilet, the flooring is going to get damaged again. So, love the initiative, but it doesn't fix the problem. We'll be back at it again, just kind of how we were.
So what
Before.
can we do with the ARPA funds?
That's a good question. So,
So is ARPA Flex something that's different?
No. I looked up the provisions, so like, here, I didn't print this out, but I have it up. I cleared out my thing. ARPA has some even though it is ARPA Rescue Plan Act flexibility, ARPA has some restrictions that CDBG does not.
two different, yeah.
And that is so really in different ways, both of them say the same thing. The restrictions are just spelled out differently. So if you look at the CDBG dollars, it has to be towards some effort that rehabilitates existing. That's the key in it. So we can't just take it away if there's no plan to rehabilitate or stabilize. It has to return back to the value. So again, the nature of these dollars so it's like if you see the homeowner assistance, the infrastructure development, the economic development, it all is to put the community back into a better space. It's specifically ARPA, when I gave you that printout and it's in that printout, it says you can't just save the funds for a rainy day and apply it to like miscellaneous needs. It has to have an end game that they're satisfied with. And that is in the spirit of rehabilitation, curving the result of the pandemic to the city, those kinds of things. And so then there was something that I read, I think it was here it is, in Ms. Gaston's legislation, allowing them to use up to 10 million or 30% of their total ARPA funds, whichever is greater, on 3 new categories. Emergency relief from natural disaster. I don't know if you guys remember those categories that are listed there, the sheet included in here. We actually encumbered $860,000. We used some of the money for the replacement of missing or income for public works. We fulfilled all of those other areas. So when I came in and I encumbered those amounts, we went through and figured out the percentages that we needed to satisfy each one of these buckets. The last bucket that we need to satisfy was to rehabilitate. So that's why we chose that, or either enhance. So that's why it was across the splash pad or the building. And so on the splash pad, I mean, the cost tripled from the time that we got the original quote. It was like $240,000. And then the prices of materials, the prices of labor went up so much after COVID that it went up to $780,000 to be able to finish the splash pad, which is why we're pausing. Now, there will be probably some recreational dollars coming soon to finish the splash pad, which is a better fit to finish that project. However, with the building, the portion of the funds that we didn't use yet in those 3 categories is where we're kind of struggling.
So, Ms. Dukestein, if we're not able to use it towards this project, is there anything we're able to say we would like to, or is it feasible to look at something else at this
I've been
juncture?
trying. I have.
I know.
I'm just trying to use the information that I have here. I don't want to misstep in being able to apply the dollars in something. There was a lot of energy put into that, so I'm looking across the city to see if there are other things I can do or we can do. I don't say, when I say I just mean because I'm the one behind the research, and I'll be able to present those. I'm just not prepared to speak on that right now today.
And if we don't, Madam Chair.
I've also looked, I'm sorry,
No.
I apologize. I'm also asking I reached out to ask if we could get an extension. Like, no sense in not asking. I mean, I don't want to see us lose the money because we don't know how to use it or want to have a particular set mind. I'm just asking.
So-
They put the deadline out there, but I'm gonna ask anyway.
Okay, so, anybody else got any ideas?
So, an idea. So to demolish the building is not a eligible project, yes?
No, it's
No.
not.
Okay.
Ms. Shiva? Or Ms. Duxine, whoever has to answer. It is November the 10th. We have to have a
Madam
project.
Chair, it is almost 9 o'clock at night, and we are beating a dead horse. The horse is laying in front of me bleeding. It is dead.
I'm trying to do CPR.
No. I'm sorry. My colleagues voted not to fix that building. I am not willing
We're looking at
to
other
sit here.
projects.
I understand that. I don't see anything in front of me. I appreciate Ms. Dukestein trying to get an extension, but my patience is gone with this at this point.
Well, this, Ms. Underwood, just to share, I think how we got on that is this piece of legislation came through. Ms. Gaston sent this
Yeah.
through for us to talk about.
I do appreciate that, but my patience is like at a limit. Like
I understand, but she sent something to committee. I have to present it, and we have to have discussion. I can't.
I appreciate. Okay, you know what? Okay, that's fine.
All right. Well, I guess we'll table it. If any,
Does anybody else have any other suggestions or ideas that they might?
how about this? We got a meeting on the 14th. We do some research, and you guys have any ideas, then if we have something, because at this point, we are.
I mean, you discussed it at length at the last meeting. The changes were
But
made.
we discussed the building, but I was giving them the
But it's in
opportunity
the
to come
same
up with
vein.
something else.
It's in the same vein.
Okay.
It is in the same vein. And
Okay.
and at that meeting, I even suggested if we're gonna get to the meeting and vote it down, it was a waste of time. So,
Well, I
That's what
was
happened.
just finding something new.
I understand. I mean, it is clearly,
That's a
like
big
I've
check
stated
to write.
before, it's council's responsibility for buildings. If council decides and chooses not to take this money and to prepare their building, it's gonna have to come out of the general fund. That way the taxpayers will really pay for it, then that's where their money would go. Now, do we think?
Because I think the notion that I would like to say is out there. I mean, I know that it's the way that our charter is set up that requires that the buildings are council responsibility, and then the amount of which the city administrator is required to go into contract. So, for example, we spent $260,000 towards replacing income. That wasn't a decision that we had to bring before you because of the way we replaced it. It's the other portions of our charter that puts it in your hands. This is not tax dollars from the standpoint of we collect this from our citizens. This is a higher level. This money was awarded to the city of North College Hill. And yes, council does get to make decisions about those funds, but that is not money directly coming from those citizens. And I think that kind of the narrative being put out there, like you get to choose this or that because it's your money out of your pocket, is kind of it. I understand how we got there, but that's not exactly accurate.
I'm pretty sure that's how the feds get their money, is through us too.
But this isn't necessarily, I mean, that's bigger than just North College Hill.
Sure.
They're not taking solely North College Hill dollars and giving them back to North College Hill citizens. I mean, at the federal, so we don't know. I mean, that's a hodgepodge of extra resources coming all over. If that's the case, the state of Iowa has an input on what we do with this money too.
If they'd like to weigh in, I'm sure Miss Underwood would love to hear from them.
Okay. to consider we're going to move into executive session now. To consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, or the investigation of charges, complaints against a public employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual, unless the public employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual requests a public hearing. If, that's it, yeah, okay. So we need to move into executive session to discuss the salary ordinance. All right?
We need to vote on it. There
Oh,
needs to be a
we
motion
don't-
and a second. Yes, absolutely, 100%. I'll second.
I'll second.
All right, Ms. Underwood?
No. I'm not smiling, no. I understand that there are 3 people at the other end of the table. You probably should have started at the other end. No.
Council is Monday. We really need to get this.
Yes.
You got to do your roll call.
Underwood?
No.
Chichester? Yes. Gaston?
Yes.
Zorb?
Whew. That's a lot of pressure now.
Who breaks the tie and?
I need an answer.
I know.
If it's a no, then
Yes.
y'all don't go.
Thank you. All right, let's move into executive session.
Yes, I am.
When we came out of executive session, do we have anything new or old business?
9:40.
What is,
What is that?
I don't know.
Did you get one?
I don't. I guess that means I get to go home.
So you can see it.
Almost put my glasses away.
May I have it? May I have a copy?
This is the one that I passed this in the email.
The one that still needs editing or the newest version?
No, this still needs editing.
Thank you.
I have some, but all my papers are smushed together now.
Is that yours?
So this is all the only.
Yeah.
thank you. Oh, no, I already have one of these. Here you go.
I'm confused why I don't have one.
An ordinance establishing, remember, because I was like,
Oh, right.
yeah.
I had given it to you because it was supposed to be in that. Okay, so that is a piece of legislation that I had Bill write up because, part of our, here's some more copies. Somebody else, you want one? Get that to Jillian. So I had Bill write this and I asked him to, in it, you should see on the back of it a registration fee sheet. And I said annual registration would be $100 and late fee is $25. Because what I discovered was that our primary business in North College Hill is actually rental registration, rental landlords. So we need to leverage income from, when they make income from their rental properties, they need to pay 1.5%. So part of the initiative that we need to capitalize on is bringing in existing revenue that already belongs to us. So in order to kind of tap into that, we have to have some kind of understanding of what businesses are here. And so you can't do that. It's similar to the rental registration. You can't charge them a fee if they're not required to register. So Bill had initially said, I don't know if that's feasible. I think that that's not something that we can do. So I did all the research. I sent him other cities, Springdale, all of the that were also doing this, and we modeled this piece of legislation. Last minute, today, like literally all the way up, we actually already have something, and it is a $150 fee. I'm not trying to hurt businesses. I'm just trying to make sure that we have registration so that we can collect income tax for those, because we have to start leveraging our revenue sources that are already here. So,
Madam Chair.
yes. Oh, I always do it. I'm sorry. You know
I forgot
don't
it
do
was
in
me
any
for a
other
second.
one.
Go ahead, Ms.
Okay.
Justin.
So, are we talking about businesses like small business? Like what type of businesses? Any business?
Yes.
Commercial, rental, registration, or commercial businesses.
So
So is this somebody who
nonprofits
has a
wouldn't,
business out of their home?
so nonprofits wouldn't count?
I think we should put a waive in there for nonprofits.
Yeah, you can choose the.
Hmm?
But they should still register.
Okay. And if they fail to register, then
You get $25 late fee.
That's
So-
actually
Probably what I'll do is I just want to let you guys know that first I was going to ask you to put this over to council floor, but then when he found this, I'm going to pull this piece of legislation. I'm going to make sure that it has a waiver in there for nonprofits. And then we need to go forward to implement this in January 1, 2026. It is a way that because we need to find other spaces to revenue our city. You know, College Station said you bring in 60 new employees, good, because we need their tax dollars. Okay, so, and I'm not looking at Erica because I know she's a business owner. And then she'd probably be hurt by this, you know, implementation, but we do need to figure out ways to leverage income. And as painful as it is to disperse amongst our community, because we see people that we love, that we don't want to be hurt by this, we do need to do this.
Madam Chair.
one question, you beat me before I was going to ask it. How are we going to, so there's a lot of small businesses within and home daycares inside North College Hills.
Where there is, I'm hoping that there is some kind of continuity with Rita that can do this. This is why we went the registration route fee. But yes, part of the,
I will also say that Rita actually suggests that this become part of a lot of processes. So like even for people who submit for permits to work here, that they should register.
that's the next piece of legislation that
So
I'm
we
going to
know who's
roll out
working
is a
within our city.
permit.
That is
Madam
correct.
You're
Chair.
operating.
Ms. Zork was first and then Ms. Underwood.
So I guess I'm confused. You're talking about this piece of legislation, but it looks like you already pulled up a codified ordinance where we already have it.
So what I'm going to do is look at that piece of, I only discussed.
Does it look similar to
I
this?
don't know. I'm going to read it and pull it. Aaron found this last minute, like 10 minutes before we were walk out here. I do know that from way back whenever this was rolled out, it was $50 more than what I was thinking, because the goal for me isn't to use this as an income source for the registration.
What's the number on that?
1359.05. I just want to make sure that this excludes nonprofits and does all the things that we needed to do, because the next piece of legislation is what Sheba was getting ready to talk about.
Registration for all permits, because we have businesses doing business in our city and we're not getting our taxes.
And we're also, I'm sorry, another thing is we also discovered buildings that used to be businesses, and they now have people with curtains on them and living in them, and they're still zoned for businesses. So we need to do both. We need to move the people who had commercial businesses, they need to pay to move it back to housing, and vice versa.
I seen that on stuff, yeah.
And so specifically with the renters in their registration, and they get this rolled out, if you could imagine, most of them don't live here, but they owe us tax dollars. It is a way to collect taxes from not just pressing down on our residents and the people that are already making a huge contribution and investment to our city. They're doing business here, they're making money here. They need to pay our 1.5%.
Ms. Dukestein, I'm glad you said that, about rental registration. I, spoke to a resident Saturday, and she said she registered her property on the site, but she didn't get a confirmation or an email. And so my question is, when people register, is there supposed to be some type of confirmation or email bounce back saying, thank you, you have registered your property in
I will
our
have
city?
to check with Ben. I don't deal with it at that transaction level,
Mhm.
but I will ask and figure that out and get back with you.
Okay, sorry,
Did
I
she
just
pay the
remembered
fee?
it, that she, what'd you
Did
say?
she pay
That
the
might be
fee?
her, yeah, that might be her receipt. I feel like when they pay, they get a receipt basically stating rental registration fee paid, and that becomes the,
The receipt, okay, could be. I didn't go into detail, she just,
Okay.
all
That
right.
was all I had.
So,
Madam Chair,
have-
I do. One little thing. At my address, there have been 7, I'm not exaggerating, letters from Rita to probably every person who has ever lived at that address. So, I mean, obviously, and my husband didn't get one. So I'm like, so does he not have to pay taxes? Like, what is going on with that? So I don't know what Rita's processes are.
Filing.
so you know that I want to make sure we understand that the letter is a non-filer letter. It's not a letter stating that you owe taxes. It's a letter stating that based on your address and your return with the federal government, you lived in a North College Hill address, and we do not have a filing for you on record.
So you could have paid and not owed anything.
But you didn't file. And they went back to 2020. This round doesn't even have 2024 in it.
Okay.
It has 2023 and before. So 2019, 2020, 21, and 22, and 23. So if he hasn't gotten it, it might be, I don't know what address you all use, and I also don't know, I'll be honest, I don't know if Rita is looking at, I don't know which line, like if you filed together, are they only looking at the first line? Or if you know what I'm saying? Because if you're married and you file together, normally it's the first Social Security number that your federal return is connected to.
Okay.
Versus married filing separately, then it's going to be connected to 2.
I see.
So, but they coming if you really want a letter. But I would also, if you're getting mail for people who don't live where you work, obviously, I would suggest return the center, because then that helps them to update their files.
Okay.
anything on this ordinance? It has to move to council floor for Monday.
Which one?
Oh, I thought,
No, I
the
don't think
business
she's
one?
moving it on.
I thought
No.
she said she wanted to move it to council floor.
No, I said that,
She's gotta look into it.
yeah, I was gonna look into it because I didn't realize that there was something that was already out there.
Okay.
I kind of just wanted to let you know what we were doing as it pertains to that, because I may be coming to you for a modification.
Excuse me.
Or another one.
I'll be completing the special meeting posting tomorrow. I'll send it to Christian and everything tonight. Does anyone here want to waive their posting for Friday?
I will waive mine.
I'll waive mine.
I will waive mine.
I'm sure Christian will be happy to hear that.
Mr.
All right.
Wilson still needs it.
What'd you say?
Mr. Wilson will still need it.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
Christian
Ms.
puts
Nichols.
one on my door. He doesn't have to.
Your mayor. You waive yours too? I gotta hear you say the yes.
It's your meeting, so I'm just saying you can
Okay.
tell him he doesn't have to make a special trip.
All right, only because Mr. Wilson isn't here and I'm not 100%, he might be watching, so. Anybody else? Budget and finance. Nope, that's it. Anything new, old business before we adjourn?
Just a reminder that the city's closed tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you to all our veterans out there. If you watched this long enough to get the thank you.
Don't forget Friendsgiving at the senior building on the 19th.
Food distribution on the 13th.
On the 13th.
All right.
A motion, we adjourn.
We're going to get to the announcements.
I second that. All right. Any objections? All minds are clear. We adjourn at 9:54.